we are. Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's session of Desert of Dread, where a bunch of crazy-ass people are going to play a crazy-ass game of Dungeons & Dragons. We are not streaming. I have a little bit of a chest cold that developed out of a normal cold. So this is going to be a little bit edited to make sure that if I start coughing or if something happens, that you guys don't have to sit there for 5 minutes while I'm taking care of that with medication or whatever. But we're here for a good time, not a long time. Well, sometimes a long time because we love storytelling. I'll be your dungeon master for this evening. Yes, that is my name. But at this point in the game, I'm probably just gonna get insulted and called a bunch of things because of the bad guys I have to play. They kind of suck. They kind of suck. Thank you for joining us for episode 7 of Desert of Dread. Woo! We're getting down to the wire with our adventure. We've got a little bit of stuff left to do here in Matista, the desert city we are in, and we will be moving to the capital of the Expanse for a little bit of travel time. Fun, fun, fun. But before we get started, obviously, we are going to read our recap and then get these guys situated with where we left off. Fun, fun, fun. Not really any big announcements. I hope everyone's enjoying their spring break, enjoys their spring break. Nick is you're going to Hawaii, you bastard, and you're not inviting any of us. It's fine. I'm not mad. Have a luau and reenact the Lion King scene with luau. Just have a whole.
That's Tuesday next week.
That's Tuesday. Are you serious? Are you gonna do a luau?
Yep. Yeah.
Look at this guy. Look at this. You have to channel your inner Basil for that, which won't be too hard. Alrighty. See if I can get through this recap without dying. Probably not going to happen, but hey, we're here. Episode 6, Springfoot's Dance. Fighting these intellect devourers proved more challenging than expected. Aelin, Rowan, and Xander were cornered with one of these beasts in the cells, while Hendrix, Alli, Basil, and Danya worked to fight the remaining 3 aberration beasts. These intellect devourers, literally the remnants of the nervous system of corpses in this room, honed their attacks on Basil, targeting their commander's quarry, it seems. Basil's warlock patron, revealed to be his grandfather, cried out in fury as his grandson was attacked by these creatures, momentarily preventing one devourer, in particular, from burrowing into Basil's skull. Me? Danya splattered this devourer against the wall, and the prisoner Primeval was overtaken by another devourer as Alri held its ground and took the brunt of these creatures' attacks. Xander made sure Basil's parents were safe as the chaos died down, the group deciding to take a short rest to recover from the adrenaline high they all felt. Alri and Basil briefly spoke with Peepaw Springfoot. Wait, what? I forgot that was there. Oh, it skipped an entire line because I saw Peepaw, excuse me. Xander and Hendrix bonded over their different relationships with the Phoenix Tamsi, Hendrix telling the story of how Tamsi saved him from dying in the Expanse. Alri and Basil briefly spoke with Peepaw Springfoot, while Danya and Aelin napped, and Buddy the Primeval, somehow able to survive, was pitied by the party as he attempted to make sense of the world now that he lost all his brain cells. Conversations were had between a few people, talking of faith and friendships, as well as frustrations, with Rowan talking to Basil about the situation with the Primeval they had interrogated and murdered. Rowan expressed that they were doing what they thought would keep everyone safe, and Basil apologized for making them feel set apart from the group, for doing the right thing in their eyes. After the party's short rest, Hendrix called out into the dungeon corridors to summon his fox animal companion, Chestnut. The The little guy brought a healing potion and led the party into an abandoned armory to gather more loot and potions. A strange rumble of magic shockwaved through the dungeon as somewhere in the universe, the deck of many things altered reality for our band of heroes here. The effects were not so physical, but pain rattled into the minds of our heroes as something imperceptible happened for them, except for Alli, who found a crap ton of money in its bag as a gift from the cryptid monster, the Bagman. You know, as you do on a normal Thursday afternoon. Excuse me. Danya and Hendrix found and opened a secret door in the wall near this armory, leading the party into a cavern of sorts. The lair of an elder brain. Standing triumphantly next to the elder brain was a familiar sight to Basil. His grandfather's arch enemy, Regal von Steenel III. Stupid. Wizard apprentice and lackey of the Dreamstalker Dragon, attempted to lead conversation with authority and power, but the party taunted him to no end. The party let their guard down, making fun of the gnomish man before realizing that he had more firepower on his side. Regal combined his consciousness with the Elder Brain and, in one fell swoop, knocked Basil unconscious with psychic attacks and tendril slashes. Hendrix raced into the fray, summoning his Azamar wings and attempting to protect Basil as best as he could. An explosion of psychic attacks unleashed upon our heroes, threatening to wither away their powers as they fought as the fight continued on. Aolin mingled his sorcery with Rowan's electromagnetic telekinesis, distracting the Elder Brain long enough for Danya and Alri to rush in and deal blows to the aberration. Basil, awakened with healing magic once more, raced over to the Elder Brain and, mingled with his Peepaw's support in shadowy form, killed Regal von Steenel III and the Elder Brain. As the party breathed a sigh of relief and stifled their laughter, a slow clap broke through the silence. The Blaze, in humanoid form, appeared to the party, taunting them, and attempted to take Stray the dragon from Xander's bag of holding. Alri rushed at the draconic bastard, screaming in anger as he disappeared from sight as quickly as he had appeared in the shadows. The party left the Primeval Hideout behind, Xander using all their strength to try to not scream the sound of their father's seemingly dying words rattling in their skull. Time was running out, and the party had so many things left to take care of before leaving the city of Matista. We pick back up in our story a little bit further away from this moment, as a few things had been established as just kind of general talk and general hangouts. Xander, you contacted Mama Alli over in the capital city, Jiangwei, and she let you and your party know that a cart with, horses had been, toppled over in the desert a few miles outside of the capital city, and she didn't see any survivors. She thought, since you're going to be headed this way, maybe you guys could check that out. So that's something on your itinerary there. You contacted your mother, Mavis, told her that Jullian had contacted you via sending and had a very somber conversation with you. And as a way of trying to help you calm down, Boot Scoot and Boogied your younger sister, Amalia, right? Amalia? I'm not crazy. Sent her through the bag of holding because she's just small enough to fit to tackle you into a hug.
She's a tiny little 8-year-old.
She's a little tiny 8-year-old. She's a wee baby. I mean, it's also an expandable kind of bag. She appeared in Matista from all the way across the world in your father's wizard's robes, dressed up and ready to make people happy as best as she could. And you all got to meet Amalia. Rachel, could you remind everyone what Amalia looks like compared to Xander?
I gotta go look at her little. Yeah, so she has a very dark complexion, and kind of like how Xander's hair is braided a little bit back before it goes into their little afro poof. Hers is braided in a similar style, but hers end in these like huge like double little space buns. And she's got
Space bun.
she's got Jullian's old wizard robes on, and she's got like these big round glasses and little freckles on her cheeks.
She tumbles through the bag, wrapping you in a big old hug, and pops up as kind of on her shoulders as well is a more charcoal in appearance inky. Not so much the drippy ink you would expect from this little familiar, more of a like charcoal powder and smoke kind of dwindling out of his magic, but still inky, still himself. He gives you a bunch of kisses like a wild dog would, and
Aww.
Hendrix,
He's such a good boy.
Chestnut immediately is poked out of the bag on your back and is like staring and sees this little tiny pseudo dragon and just like,
Go on if you want to play.
like immediately scrambles out of the bag, crawls down the front of your armor, and like beelines it to Inky. Inky and Chestnut like circle each other briefly, just like checking each other out, figuring out what's going on, and then Chestnut initiates play. He jumps at Inky. They tumble in the sand, kicking up a little bit of dust in the street, just kind of nipping at each other playfully, having a fun time. And
Having a good time.
And Amalia kind of sees you, Xander, and hey, Mom said you weren't feeling well and that something happened, and so I came through to like see if you were okay. And looks around at all your friends. You introduce all of them to Amalia, and we kind of left off with essentially a repeat of an introduction that happened forever ago. Amalia looks immediately at Aolin and Ulrich and goes, "You guys are tall."
You're really small.
Well, yeah. I'm only 8, so like I'm tall for an
Supposed to be.
8-year-old. You look real cool. Is this Ulrich, the one you told me about?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amalia. We both have A names. I think that's pretty cool. Sorry? It's your mic is a little bit muffled.
Amalia's name technically starts with an E.
Amalia?
Amalia.
Ah. Well then never mind.
What are the chances she knows how to spell?
She's also 8.
You know, in my head I was like, wouldn't it be funny if her name didn't start with E or A?
I don't know what's going on in your mic, Vex. It's like it's just.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Did this make it worse?
That made it worse.
It's noise suppression.
Oh.
I don't know. I think it's trying to. It thinks that your voice reverberating is noise, and it's suppressing it.
Damn.
So a little backtrack. So that's all you were talking about. Hi, I'm Amalia. I really like your. Are those tattoos? I don't know if they're tattoos.
I don't think they can count as tattoos if it's not flesh or ink.
Oh.
But I wouldn't know what to define them as otherwise.
Like paint?
It's gold, I believe.
That's real cool. I wonder if when I'm like old enough, like at least maybe 10, I might be able to get like gold tattoos or something.
You'd have to ask your parents.
Right, yeah. And you see there's like a sad kind of like furrow of the brow of parents being mentioned, and Molly looks back over at you, Xander, and Mama said something happened to Dad.
Yeah, did she like tell you anything that I told her? Like what all do you know?
I don't just traumatize my sibling at the get-go. Just like, our dad is dead, by the way. Thanks for coming.
So, like, Mom doesn't like telling me stuff because apparently I'm not old enough to handle it. But I know something bad's happened. I had a nightmare the other night, and there was a really, really big, scary thing, and it was like blue and like lightning, and Dad was there, and he looked hurt, and I saw like two things. It was weird because they were two like random things, but they seemed to be connected. There was looks over at Danya and like tries not to be rude, but like points at Danya and like leans into you. That guy attacked somebody, and there was like two ways it would go. Is like they would either hurt someone or it would be stopped.
Was it like someone who looked like anybody here, like any of us, or was it like a stranger, like maybe like a bad guy? Cause like if Anya like attacks a bad guy, like that's fine.
Kind of tries to be subtle but points at Rowan.
I don't know.
Didn't that happen in the hotel or whatever we were at when Xander was in the hallway?
There was
Yes, it did.
there was a bit of a vision of things, yeah.
Would
Anybody who's clearly listening to this, because Amalia
hear this?
does not have the ability to make skill checks, for they're an 8-year-old. You
a
can
literal
make
child.
either a history, arcana, or just a general intelligence check.
Would my
if you're proficient in those two skills, or one of the two.
History, Arcana, or what?
If you're not proficient in either history or arcana, it's just a general intelligence.
Vax would was Hunter's Bane.
Not
Give it a-
really. It's not like a fey, fiend, undead thing. It's like a general knowledge of magic and how it works.
Okay, well.
I got an 18.
18.
Me too.
18.
That's an
18
11.
club. Bloop, bloop.
Anyone else? Did anyone just get above a 15?
I got a 23 Arcana.
Aelin, did you roll by any chance?
I did not. Aelin
Okay.
is not listening.
Okay.
What is Aelin doing?
Aelin, have we left? We're outside now, right?
We're out. You guys are outside of the hideout, and you're heading back towards kind of where the tavern was, where you ran into Jace and Artemis, because before you leave the city, you mentioned to Danya, who said promptly, no, fuck that, and to Alri, who said, sure, I guess I have to. You're gonna go talk to Artemis about what happened when the Blaze showed up, what he knows of the Blaze, and all that before you leave to head to Jiangwei.
What time of day is it?
It's like lunchtime almost, just a little after.
Aeon's just kind of staring off, glancing up, keeping walking, keeping an eye on the road, but I've lost in thought and looking up a lot.
Little guy. Our disgruntled little cowman. He's staring at clouds. Okay, so anybody that got between a 15 and a 20.
What do we know? What do we know?
What Amalia is describing, it's such a specific thing of Hendrix, you don't know what happened when they interacted in the past. You don't know what the key is. You don't know a lot of stuff that's this group's gone through. Hopefully in time they will explain that to you, but you, with your role, the way that Amalia is describing the way that she saw things, it's not a nightmare. It feels too detailed and predictive to be just a little nightmare from a kid. Amalia's never met Danya. It seems like Amalia doesn't know really anybody here, but had a nightmare about somebody they've never met before. This sounds like a vision. You feel like Amalia had a vision of something in the future that has the potential to happen. For everyone else that got between 15 and 20, that checks out. When the key was exploding and showed visions, Danya almost attacked Rowan. There was also there was a vision of something happening in a cave that involved Danya turning into a vampire. There's been a lot of these visions passing around, and it seems that something bounced into Amalia's head across the world, and she saw something. Basil. There's an imperceptible twinkle in a wizard's eye when they are born with the gift of sight. A divination wizard, in order to study divination, has to have some innate ability to them to see the future. What Amalia has described is the sight. Amalia saw 2 possible scenes of something happening. And it doesn't look like Amalia really knows what's happening and is freaked out. You have a feeling Amalia has a bit of divination magic already settling into her body. Early for a kid her age. You'd think a kid would develop divination powers maybe around 16, like Xander's age. Seems like Amalia's got something a little stronger than the average kid. The average wizard kid.
Or bear.
Smarter than the average bear.
Average bear.
But,
Yeah,
I mean, like, cause it sounds like a vision. Like, did you tell Mom? Cause like that sounds like a magic thing.
wait, really?
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a bad dream because I miss my dad, cause, like, yeah, like I miss him.
Well, cause like some of the stuff that like we're doing, there was like an object, and I was in the hallway, so like I kind of wasn't there, but I like got to this later. But there, like, people saw like visions of stuff that like could happen, and like maybe I don't know how, cause you were like all the way back home, but like, cause that sounds like.
Are
Yeah,
you
'cause,
saying
like-
I'm magic? Like, I know Dad taught me stuff, but like I don't have anything like you.
I mean, I don't know like where I got like the stuff like I was born with, like I don't know, but like I get stuff from like, you know, like Mama Alli and TMZ, but like I don't know. But I mean, like, mom and dad are like both like really good at magic, so maybe you were just like born with cool magic too.
Really?
Yeah, like I would totally like talk to mom about it, even if it's like a scary like nightmare vision. Cause like, you know how good of a wizard mom is.
Yeah. Just kind of caddies out to all of you guys. And my mom has a staff that changes from a plant into like a magic sword kind of thing. I don't know if it's like a sword. It's like a scepter. It's like real cool, and she controls it, and yeah.
That is rather cool, yes. I wish I had a scepter that did that.
Wait, you got a Tamsy thing on you.
Yeah, but I want a cool scepter? No, it's scepter.
He said it wrong.
He seems really cool. He's the one I told mom like knows Tamsy like a little bit. So like I think like he and I are gonna be friends. Like I'm gonna be his friend.
I think we could be friends.
Tamsy's our big sister.
Oh. Like actually?
I kind of like kidnapped her first, and then like mom invited her over, and then we were just like, you're part of the family now. So
It's
like,
something called being adopted.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Like
yes.
Xander.
yeah.
All right, I'm learning a lot. Bunch of new information. He just takes out a little book and he just starts writing in it.
But yeah, I just wanted to come say hi and give you another hug and see how things were going and meet your friends, because I'm a part of the Secret Keepers now. That's what Xander says you guys are called now, the Secret Keepers.
I don't know if I said that's what we were called. They're like secrets that we keep. I don't think that's our name. I don't know. I mean,
You
guys
said
like
that
it?
I was a Secret Keeper like you.
I meant like me is like by myself, cause like I don't know if like the group wants to have like a cool name or not.
Molly looks to all of you like,
I mean, I like the name. It's cool, but I'm also new, so.
Ulrich just shrugs, just
Indifferent.
I just work here.
Basil looks over at Danya and goes, "That sounds so cool. Can we please be called the Secret Keepers? That sounds like such a cool name."
I feel if people knew we had secrets to keep, we wouldn't be as good at keeping them.
Or maybe our secret is that we don't have secrets.
So we should tell everyone everything?
Yeah.
Oh,
That sounds like a fast way to have something go wrong.
but it's also a lot easier to keep a secret if you don't have one to keep.
I'll keep
That's
you my dirty little
You're not
secret.
keeping secrets.
That logic sounds super spot on to me.
I'm mostly kid. We should probably not tell everyone our secrets.
It makes sense
Also,
to me.
Yes, it.
Only mostly though. I mean, we could also tell everyone, kind of see which one works better.
I also feel a name would make us bigger than we necessarily want to be right now.
You guys could have like the party name like Fred or something.
What if the party name was a secret?
Oh. This guy gets it.
that's the
This
secret
guy
we're
gets
keeping.
it.
I thought so.
That is dumb enough for me to not hate it.
So what you're
That's
saying is
like-
it's not dumb. That's what I heard.
You're only 8.
Yeah. I'm like practically an adult.
He's
Don't
like
rush
really
to that.
confident for her age.
I can tell.
Like really, really confident.
I think we could get that. She's like a wizard and everything.
That apparently sees into the future.
I'll go
Future
try
wizard.
again.
I don't think you need to. I think it's okay.
I almost got it.
Don't fart, please.
I
trying
couldn't
too
breathe.
hard.
Or pass out.
I couldn't breathe for a second.
I mean, not that I'm suggesting this, but last time we needed someone to look into the future, it took a little vicious mockery. I'm not saying we should do it to the child.
What's a vicious mockery?
No, that sounds like a really bad idea.
What's a
I'm not saying we should. I'm
what's-
just saying
What's
if it
a
ever coincidentally does happen, that could be the trigger.
what's a vicious mockery?
It's like
I love
it's
that.
like the thing that like dad does a lot to like.
Oh, his dad
people who are, like-
jokes?
No, it's like whatever, like when someone's like really sassy to dad and like he sasses them
So
back,
mom
and then they get a
does
headache.
this.
I mean, it's like I don't think she can do like the spell, but it's like whenever
I
you
mean,
when you like sass somebody a lot and it gives them a headache.
mom sasses people and they get headaches sometimes, but like,
I mean, that's fair.
I don't think hers is magic though. I think she's just like, she's just
Maybe
real
it's
cool.
Maybelline.
She's just like the weight of her disappointment in you is too much to bear, and it just makes your head hurt.
Yeah. I want to know what that is though.
Me neither.
Mavis has never been disappointed in her kids ever. I've never done anything wrong ever, and I understand that, and I love
know
you.
that and I love you.
You spend a little bit more time with Amalia, and Amalia eventually disappears back through the bag of holding and gets stuck a little bit for 1 second and then goes through fully. And Inky kind of just hangs out for a second with everyone. Going over to you, Aolin, as you're staring up at the sky, just kind of looks with you, looks over at you, looks back up.
Look down at him. Look back up. Look down at him. How are you doing, little guy?
Ah.
It's
Kind of sad dragon face.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on him. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I'll try.
Baby.
Make me a spell attack.
Cure Wounds.
Uh-huh. I know what you said.
Good.
You kill my little pseudo dragon buddy.
he disappeared. No.
Xander will cry.
You put your hand on Inky, and you see your magic go into his body. And there's this weird, like, almost like a liminal space in the magic where it almost feels like you could push it further than just Inky. Then there's this moment you feel like when you hit a wall and there's a little give to it. Like maybe it's a door that just is closed.
There's a door inside my pseudo dragon.
It's like the feeling of like a magical barrier, like something that has a bit of give to it.
Aelin just feels something pushing back on him and pushes harder.
You push harder, and you almost can feel it shattering. I need you to make me another spell attack.
$11.
It's starting to break. It's almost there, and there's this brief moment. You can feel Jullian Veruvius's connection still there with Inky. You almost think you can heal Jullian from here, and it fizzles and it heals Inky instead. You couldn't break the wall that's up.
So I kind of realized that I could have, if I push harder, I might be able to heal him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cast it at 3rd level.
Okay. Inky gets 10 hit points. This is dangerous now, but okay. You put your hand back on Inky. Inky just looks up at you concerned. His tail like wraps around your arm so he can like hold still.
I just kind of whisper to him, and he can understand me. I think
He's an animal. I mean, yeah.
I think I can hear Jullian. Come on, I'll try to help.
Let me get to more. I gotta do more tense music. Give me a second, because this is getting
I like the good feel good vibes.
No, yeah, and then he said I'm doing a higher level and I'm gonna try again. Okay. I need you to make me a spell attack as you are trying to avoid healing Inky and push through to rekindle a connection that is severed, but barely holding on.
Is there any way I can get advantage or anything on this?
Have you already used Favor by the Gods?
It's checked off, so I guess I did last session.
Would you like to take a consequence, my friend?
Oh god.
Eat the moon.
Don't eat them.
Who needs
Eat
moons
the
anyway?
sun.
Do you want to know what your option is, or would you like to just take it blindly?
I'll ask my consequence. If there's no consequence to that as well.
That's not. I mean, there's no consequence. Vex just says yes before I ever tell Vex what the consequence is, because chaos. You are going to succeed the first check and take a level of exhaustion. Or you forcibly succeed both of these checks, and I roll your death saves. And something happens if you die. Not death. Something else.
I don't think I want to know what happens.
You get undeath.
With who I think
I
is
will
in his
also
head.
give you the stakes. Jullian Veruvius currently is unconscious. He is in a liminal space. He is on death saves, but he is in a time stop to where he can't die or be brought back. This is the only way to heal him until you find where he is.
So, the initial roll that I got on this new 3rd level was a 16.
Nope. It's because you failed that second one. It had to go up.
I'll take the consequences. Let's see what
Which
happens.
one? Just one try or both tries?
Wait, so for just one try, it was...
For just one try, it's a level of exhaustion.
Oh,
That goes away after a little bit longer than just one long rest. Or, you fully succeed, you heal Jullian, I roll 3d20, I see what happens, and I give you a consequence. Based on what I rolled.
I hate it.
is there a chance of killing Jullian in any of this?
No.
I'll take just the first one.
Okay.
And take the exhaustion.
You succeed the first check. You break through into this liminal space again. Your hand is, like, wrapped in the tail of Inky. All of you now turn and see, like, the two of them are, like, kneeling. He's, like, Aylin's, like, kneeling on the ground, holding onto Inky. Inky is, like, wrapped around Aylin's hand and, like, burrowed his head in. And a white glow has begun emanating from the palm that is currently, like, wrapped into the embrace. You push through, How many hit points do you currently have, Aolin?
21.
Let's see. You currently now have 14 HP. You take a level of exhaustion. Your hand hits the wall again. It's still flexible. It's not broken. It's you feel like you just need the best push you can do to get through. I now give you a warning. If you fail the second check.
Wait, I thought he was taking the consequences to automatically pass both checks.
I know. No, he's not doing both.
Just the
He just
first
did the one.
Oh, okay.
Because he doesn't want to be on death saves right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving him a warning of what happens if he fails this time. If you fail this check, for one, third level spell goes out into nowhere. It doesn't heal anybody. You just waste a third level spell. The wall will shatter and reforge itself and injure you because you're trying to break through ancient magic right now. If you fail, I'm going to roll 1d20 and it will deliver a consequence to you.
As I'm kind of crashing to the ground and the rest of the party's noticing me, I'm gonna say, I need you all to help me with something. I need help with this, please.
Yes.
Healing. What? What are you doing?
Your father. I'm healing your father.
Wait, you can sense him through Inky?
Yes.
Xander is beelining over and is like nestled up next to Aolin, like over his shoulder, just like, 'cause they don't really have any spells they could cast. I don't think that would help. They're just like right there at his side.
I will also walk over and can I offer some spell slots to kind of empower?
If you would like to add spell slots, you have to cast a healing spell. You have to put your hand onto Aolin. If Aolin fails, it will affect you, but the DC is lowered.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do a third level spell. I'll do 2 third level spells.
Okay.
Could I also walk over? Could I lend my twin mind? Would it count as a saving throw?
No, it's a spell attack.
Okay.
It's like trying to hit a wall.
Can't really do anything.
So, if Hendrix can do a healy thing, could Xander as well, like, to help with that?
Oh, baby girl, yeah. Yeah,
Xander would. They only have
Ooh,
second
this is
level.
getting dicey.
And I would also like to grab onto my ruby gem that I keep in my pocket for emergencies. It's a 5th level spell technically, and I feel like if I have to, maybe I could draw from it.
Regardless of success or failure, it will shatter your ruby.
But would it maybe possibly keep at least one person protected? Maybe take away some of the bad from one particular person or any people?
If they put something into it, they're getting attacked by it.
Okay, then the ruby won't do anything then if that's the case. So, that I wanted to do.
It's not a saving throw, but if you wanna put your warlock patron on the line for this, you totally can. So if something bad happens, it affects your warlock patron. It affects you being a hexblade. I was more basil than anything.
Oh.
It affects your peepaw. Yeah, then it'll affect you.
I'll do it. I'll put Peepaw on the line. That's what Peepaw would do.
You put your hand on So Hendrix puts one hand on Aolin's shoulder, the other Basil, and then from his own shadow, Peepop puts his hand on Basil's shoulder.
Oh, you people.
I feel like Xander, they're gonna do their healing word as they hover next to Aolin, and instead of it being like their normal little Tango healing incantation, they're gonna change it to they're gonna do like a little chant or prayer to Tamsy, since Tamsy knows Jullian as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna also.
Let me grab my charger because I don't want my computer to die in the middle of this. Uno momento.
And you all, and then just.
And you all.
If Vax leaves the call, then we automatically win, right?
Yeah,
I think that is the rule.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that goes.
They're not here to stop us. They can't
I
say
can
no.
still hear you. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Plotting.
I don't believe you.
You know, if the DM's 15 minutes late to D&D, you can leave.
But like, why would you? Why would you leave? I'm telling the story. It wasn't like my big computer charger. It was my MacBook. Okay. So, for my people who don't have healing spells, specifically that would be Alli and Danya, would you guys like to put anything of a subclass ability into this? Like a rage or a
I am
blood
out of
maledict?
rages. I am
Oh,
out of rages,
shit.
but I do have a second win.
If you want to try and put something in to do that, you guys are gonna either fully kill him or heal him to max. That is the fully.
I can give him a blood maledict.
If you would like to, you totally can. You will be putting yourself on the chopping block. You do not have to.
I'll second win.
Should I also roll my d6 as normal for blood maledict?
Yeah, because that's how blood hunters work. You're gonna hurt yourself and then hurt yourself. Oh man. I knew Edward would be like, huh, that's weird, and not just leave it alone. He'd immediately go, oh, poke it!
My combined intelligence and wisdom is lower than my charisma. I have to do this.
But it's also Edward going, wait a goddamn minute,
But-
we can
Wait
do
a
something cool! And then risk everyone's lives.
We
Hey,
can
I
do
was-
this. I was hoping for like a bardic inspiration. I'm just going with it.
I mean, Xander chose to do a healing. You could have done just a bardic inspiration, but it would still
This is-
affect you.
Bro?
This is their dad. Xander's
The-
gonna do something regardless.
The more you put, the more is on the line. I'm literally been calculating the DC as we've been adding things, putting people, adding things, putting people.
I got
It's-
two
it is-
third level spells.
It is fucked up right now.
Can Xander still inspire?
If Xander wants to put more on the chopping block, yes.
Was that me?
The more you add, the more you are putting at risk. You will only know until it sets off with Aolin pushing the wall.
Just doing this in the middle of the streets.
This feels like a box of doom roll.
It's gonna be, bro! He's
Oh, wait,
right
you didn't get the
here.
box of doom?
He's right here! He's right here! He's a little guy!
Oh, hey, look! It's
That's not a little guy.
It's the literal...
That's not a little guy.
He's huge. Okay, so... I'm gonna go around, we're gonna do some fucking math. Aolin, you are putting in a 3rd level Cure Wounds. You've already put in a healing. You have succeeded, taken a consequence. Hendrix, you are putting in 2 3rd level spells. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We all just TPK ourselves.
I'm gonna be straight up with you.
Ah.
There is a very real chance that you all go unconscious if this fails.
That's okay. As long as it's unconscious.
Xander, you're just doing a little healing word, or are you doing healing word and bardic inspiration?
I think they're just gonna stick with their second level healing word.
Okay.
Vex is typing.
Oh, I forgot to mute.
No, you're fine.
Oh, I thought it was
Basil,
back.
you are putting basically all of your twin mind spirit stuff, right? Because it's gonna cost
That's all
all
I
that.
got.
Are you doing anything else?
That's all I
Okay.
all I have left from that fight is one charge of Protect the Spirit.
Okay. Alri, you are putting in second wind.
Can I also put in a potion?
Sure.
Wait, I haven't
Can
bought the potions yet. Never mind. We haven't done that yet in canon.
Can I throw a potion in then? I'll get rid of one.
Yep. Let me back up in my math here.
I'll just dump it. I'll just pour it on Aolin. Just like turn the bottle.
Well, you can all, or that's one way. Okay. Sure.
Like a coach after a football game.
Yes, the old Gatorade bath.
Gonna be all stuck in my fur.
If you survive, you can clean it.
I think I have. I can prestidigitate your corpse.
Make it all shiny.
If you survive. Okay, so that
We
is
can have a Molly do it.
Aolin, Hendrix, Xander, Basil, and then potion, second wind. No, you're not doing a potion. You wouldn't have done it yet. So second wind, Danya. You're putting in your blood maledict.
Yes.
Okay. How much HP did you lose?
3.
Okay. The DC is set. I have allocated for all of the vulnerabilities you all are putting into this and all of the things that will help. If this goes wrong, you all will be taking damage, levels of exhaustion, or if this fails, one of you protects the rest of you. If it fails, which we're going straight back to Aolin with a spell attack, if it fails, any one of you can say sacrifice play. I will roll your death saves and see if you survive or die, and you will take the brunt of everything that's about to happen. Or all of you can take it evenly and suffer the consequences together. So, that being said, Aolin, roll me a spell attack. Oh, we're getting picked up? Are we getting picked up? No?
I'm gonna
Okay.
try to, but my camera isn't liking it. Okay. That is a 19.
In total?
Do you have
I'm
any?
gonna see if there's anything I can add to it. At all. Maybe there's something.
You're all connected, so if you all have
Nice.
inspiration tokens,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put 2 inspiration tokens in.
How many do I
I'll put
have?
1 in as well.
I had 1 inspiration token, so I'll bring it to a 20 myself as well.
20,
I have-
21, 22, 23,
I have 2.
24, 25. already, you had only one? Okay, hold on. Let me...
Or I'm only putting
So
one in.
we're doing... Anybody else want to add anything? You are literally on the cusp.
Okay, I'll add 2 more. I'll use all mine up.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else to add.
And if we're not there, can I
You're
throw
like
my
right there, bro.
if I let it destroy my stone of luck, can I add the +1?
You will lose your stone of luck. You rolled a 19.
12 plus 7.
With everyone adding everything in, 19 became the DC. So you succeed.
Hey, yo!
Woo!
The stone of luck is gone. All of your inspiration tokens that have been used are gone. Leveled spells that you used are gone. Now, I need all of you to make me Constitution saving throws. There is going to be backlash, but not as bad as before.
Sacrifice.
Aelin will take it first.
You bitches!
Rolly, D20 for the both of you.
Oh,
D20 Alri,
14.
D20 14. Eowyn.
7.
Alri takes the sacrifice. None of you have to make Constitution saving throws.
Thank God I got a 5.
I got a 13 for my saving throw.
Okay. I'm now going to describe what the fuck happens.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty.
Eowyn, you, like, palm Inky into your hand. You palm the boy.
It reaches through and palms Jullian's face.
You palm Inky and feel your mind push into the connection that creates the familiar bond between a wizard and a creature of a different plane of existence. All your friends come over, they place hands on your shoulders on each other to make sure that their blessings pass through. You press against the wall. It begins to shatter. You feel as, not like glass, but like 1,000 needles are pressing into your arm as you push through this barricade. But then, all at once, your hand is pulled free, and you feel someone push you out of the way. Everyone roll their healing, and just put it in party rolls. I'll add it all together. I'll give it to Jullian. Alri. You've got your hand on Eowyn. Your eyes alight in a whitish, kind of like a white-pink coloration, and you chase after the sorcerer as he delves into this darkness. You push everyone back, moving them as far away as you can, and you push through this barricade, push through the glass. All of the markings on your body begin to glow a like cerulean blue that merges into a violet color. You propel all of this healing through poor little Inky, who's just having to be stuck under the weight of all of this. And
He's a strong
you
boy.
put your hand on a form, a shoulder, a man's shoulder, and you hear the roar of a bear in your ear. And your entire right arm begins to shatter. I am going to roll 3d20. I need you in this moment to tell me how long do you hold on, even if it hurts?
Until there's nothing left to send through.
Okay.
Abigail is here for emotional support.
There is an explosion that happens centered on Alri as crystal and ceramic shatters on its body. All of you are pushed back, and you all see Alri standing in a crater, the center of Matista. I'm now going to roll damage on Alri. Alri, roll me a d12.
Seven.
You have 3 levels of exhaustion. This is not gonna be pretty. Already, you take 24 points of force damage. Are you still awake?
Yes.
What is your dominant hand?
Already is ambidextrous.
Left or right?
Right.
From the tip of your middle finger all the way down your arm to your elbow and up. So it's down the face, and then it turns, and then on the back side of the arm, all the way to your shoulder joint. That arm shatters. And pieces of your body drop to the ground. You splinter across the chest, up to the face, and your right eye shatters. That second thing is is real fucked up, and I'm sorry. Out of the 3 things I sang you, getting that second one, I'm really sorry.
Yep.
You all watch Alri's right arm drop to the ground. They are now missing an arm.
What?
The healing went through. Jullian is now awake. Full HP. And Alri is missing an arm and has shattered as a child of a goddess to save all of you. There is just crystal and ceramic at its feet.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's what Alri actually says. Just, well, that's unfortunate.
Alan just kind of looks at Inky before setting them down. Or actually, he will turn and try to hand Inky over towards Xander.
Xander just kind of like stares at Alri for a moment. Like, they're not as horrified as they would be if it was like somebody in the party who was more flesh and blood, which would have
Imagine
been,
if that was Aelin, guys.
more gruesome. But they're still like the shock is on their face because they care about Alri, and it's like just blew up. So they're just like, oh, and then they just like scoop Inky and like snuggle him as close as they can and like nuzzle his little head, and like Ezekiel comes out and gives him love and stuff.
You actually briefly cut yourself, and you look down and see that pieces of Alri's crystal have literally shuddered into Inky's body.
Oh. I'm gonna pick out all the
Scales
little...
are covered in crystal, and Inky is just like scrunched up in pain.
Yeah, Xander's gonna try and like just like hold Inky out on their arm and like pick out all the little pieces of like Alri's arm that they can, and they're gonna, because they're like, I don't know, maybe we can fix Alri's arm. They're just gonna keep them all in one of their pockets just in case. So they're just like putting the pieces in the pocket of their jacket.
As you are taking out all these pieces, you see a black, inky liquid fall out of these wounds and meld back into the scales. Inky is Inky again.
Inky is Inky.
But at what cost?
My
Yeah.
God.
Xander's just gonna.
Eye.
Xander's just gonna. While they're cleaning Inky up, they're gonna be like,
I don't know exactly what we did, but Inky is Inky again, so I think we helped my dad.
I felt the spells connect. Alri, is Alri still conscious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aelin will kneel down next to it. Alri places a hand over its shoulder. Alri, are you with us?
It's not the first time I've lost an arm.
How do you usually get it back on?
Max, how did I get it back on last time?
You had to go visit someone. In order for you to get your arm fixed up, there's a strange person you need to talk to. And almost as soon as you begin thinking of them, they start walking out of this crowd that has surrounded all of you. A kind of Yanti in physique person, half snake, half human. You see almost like a cobra like face moving down into a feminine body. There are various pieces of feathers that are latched onto leathers for an armor of sorts, a long cape of leaves that are decayed and wilted, hangs down and trails after them. In their hair, affixing it in a bun, there is a very large bone. Not with like the curved edges, a jagged, broken bone of a beast of some sort. It curves like an elbow almost, and in the hair. This is the witch doctor that was mentioned by Basil's parents. This woman has like dark skin, has white face paint in places. Not face paint, it's ceremonial paint that defines the features in a few places, but specifically arcs around her right eye in the shape of a crescent moon. And she just kind of turns her head to the side and tisks a bit at you, Alri. You know it's not very easy to repair someone of your nature.
At least it's the other arm this time.
Like that makes it any better.
You don't have to redo work you already did.
Charming. Hello, everyone.
You know they don't pay me for my social skills.
They don't, no. It appears none of you look familiar. Are these new people, Aubrey?
Relatively.
Relatively. Basil, roll me a history check. Get you guys a little bit of an art ref for Miss Thang.
Hey, yo!
Hey, yo.
While you're doing that, I just have to say, I told the witch doctor I was in love with you, bum 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 bum, and then the witch doctor, he told me what to do, bum 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 bum. He said, ooh ee ooh ting tang, walla walla bang bang, ooh ee ooh ting tang, walla walla bang bang.
This, Basil, you quickly recognize. She is Matista's shaman. Her name is Zarina Shadowcaster.
Ooh.
Must you make things difficult for me?
I'm so much easier to fix than any one of them.
Yes, glue and minerals are easier to replace than bones and blood. Danya. You recognize Zarina as well. From your time in school, studying all of the natural arts of the Expanse, this was one of the more zany people in your classes. She focused a lot on the balance between life and death, and she was essentially voted most likely to start a coven in the woods as a joke, and you feel that might have come true.
I said coven in the woods.
She just kind of has her hands in front of her, and she already looks like she's calculating how each piece of ceramic needs to be put back, and she's trying to do it from memory. And as she sits there, appearing on her shoulder is a monkey.
Aw.
A red skin and furred monkey that just kind of hangs upside down, kind of like not sugar glider, but it's the size of a squirrel, but it's definitely a monkey. It's kind of hanging upside down, looking. It doesn't look like any monkey you've ever seen in the Expanse. she just kind of scritches it and goes, Tito, go pick up those things for me. And he drops down and like runs over and starts grabbing all the pieces of ceramic and putting it in a little bag on him.
Xander pulls out the pieces from their pocket they took off the Inky and just holds them out.
Here you go. Hi. Okay.
Extends a hand out towards you for you to shake.
Are they holding it like elegantly?
Well, it's also monkey, so.
Xander's just gonna like lightly take it and do like the gentle like.
Nice to meet you.
Waddles over, picks up a few pieces, and like kicks you, Alri, a little bit, like thanks a lot, and like has to pick up these big pieces.
I'm getting Abu levels of sass.
Very much so.
Going.
I'll take all these pieces and reassemble it. There's a flash of blue in her eyes, and she just kind of smirks. Still got it. You all do whatever you need to do in the city. I'll put this back together and get it back to you as soon as I can. Maybe within the hour.
And what will I owe you for such a favor?
The last time I was generous and I warned you it'd be expensive. How much do you have?
I don't know yet. Give me an hour to do some shopping and I'll get back to you. It's not in a fungible currency right now.
What is it, like gems?
And jewelry.
Jewelry.
I had someone visit me.
Can I see one of these?
Sure. I can't. Hold up.
Tanya goes over to
Bag's hard
help.
to take off with one hand.
Tanya goes to assist.
She like leans over and like opens the bag a little and like reaches out and picks up one of the bracelets and just kind of holds it a little bit. I'll take this. And then you can go on your way.
Okay.
She slips it on and just kind of delicately moves some of them. And after a moment or so, the gems disappear into her skin after she twirls her wrists a little bit and it turns into a tattoo. A physical manifestation of her material components. They turn to tattoos. She absorbs them. She is her spell focus. Always
How much
good
were each of
to...
the jewelry's worth?
Let's just say, because you've already deducted stuff from your thing, it's 2,000 that she grabbed.
Okay.
She just casually grabs 200 gold piece and sticks it on her arm. And she goes, okay, bye!
This is why I kept some slush money.
If you
So I could
break
do
an arm,
stupid shit.
you could do stupid shit. She kind of just cocks her head towards you, Basil, and just smiles a little bit.
I think you know my parents.
Do I?
I don't know. They were talking about you fixing a friend of ours, Buddy.
Buddy, yes. A charming little fellow. What consumed his thoughts?
I think it was like a little brain that was like walking around on four legs. I couldn't remember if it had a tail or not, but it was really squishy and it kind of smelled bad.
An intellect devourer, of course. They've been plaguing our world since the Underdark has entered the city. She kind of just glances over the group. You all know she's very tall and she's hunched over. Aolin, she'd easily be a foot taller than you if she stood up straight, but she's just kind of observing everyone. And then she sees you, Danya, and just kind of straightens up, full height, look down to you. Tanya,
Zarina.
love what you've done with your, well, everything.
I can see you've leveled up your aesthetic as well.
Desperate times, desperate measures. Donna, your Fey and Fiend is going off. Like, woo! It's Fey on her. There's Fiend on the monkey.
Okay.
If you want to, you can make any sort of Blood Hunter check with advantage to try and identify the creatures.
What type? What scale?
What are the things? It's Arcana and History and
Investigation and religion.
it would be Arcana would be better, I suppose.
Or nature.
Nature or Arcana, you choose.
I'll go with Arcana. So that is a 17.
You're not sure what type of Fae Zarina is. She just kind of radiates it. You can definitely tell that Tito is like a mini Balgura. Mini monkey demon. You could just immediately the coloring is just like,
Yeah.
He just looks up at you and just kind of does like a sup, like he does like a flinch towards you to try and scare you. It's like, what's up? Keeps moving around, picking up the ceramic pieces. You're different than I last saw.
I would say the same, I guess.
You got stronger. Or is it weaker? Depends on perspective, I guess.
I hear throwing all the shade.
Lovely to see you. Tell your sister I said hello.
Next time I see her, I will be sure to do so.
She leans in, crouching again, but like towers over you and whispers in your ear, "Welcome back." And leans back up, and Tito toddles after her, and she just kind of disappears into the city. Everyone literally parts like the Red Sea, avoiding her. They give her like a 10 feet on all sides.
Well, she's certainly tall.
He seemed super nice.
Sure, that's one way to put it.
Did you say something about shopping, Alri?
Yes, I seem to have come into a windfall recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'll lean the bag over to you because I've still got it like in front of me, and I'll open the lid so you can see the note on top of the jewelry.
Oh. Do I have any knowledge of
The bag man.
Yeah.
Make me a history check with advantage, for he is
Okay.
definitely undead.
Or it could be Vera. 25.
Oh, baby, do you know what dance was? Vera boots on. The Bagman is an urban legend of Rhanok and all of the other planes of existence. Legend has it a man disappeared into an extra-dimensional portal of sorts, most likely inside of a bag of holding, and died within it, suffocating after about 10 minutes or so without oxygen. Instead of fully disappearing to the afterlife, He was trapped in a liminal space long enough to be resurrected by the powers of the bag of holding he was in. Some say if you leave your bag of holding or Handy's haversack, and Rowan immediately looks down at the bag like, the fuck? Handy's haversack, unattended during a long night's rest, he will emerge from it, take one of your party members as a trophy, and disappear to find another bag. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I feel that was useful information. Thank you, Vera.
Of course. That lady was kind of weird.
We know.
I liked her, but she was kind of scary. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
You're missing out. And it goes into the bag.
Being as I was in Celestial, I assume Alri understood all that.
Yeah.
I also got most of that information last session.
Yes.
Bagman.
So Basil, you see the note that says from the bagman, a thing you mentioned to Xander forever ago, and just, he was here.
Oh no, I'm showing it specifically to Danya.
Oh,
I'm
you
showing it
don't
to the
show
only-
Basil?
I'm showing it to the other adult in the room.
You don't want to show Basil? No. What about Hendrix?
We'll
He's an
find it.
adult.
I'll
You'll
go
find
in.
out.
I'll find
Yeah.
the bagman.
I don't know. I haven't known Hendrix long enough to
Mhm.
know whether he qualifies as an adult or not.
True.
But so far, the only
He's an
evidence I've
adult.
got is that he's a devotee of Tamsi, which is not a point towards the adult column.
Hey, Alra doesn't know that.
My only other experience with a devotee of Tamsi is
16-year-old.
Xander.
Yeah.
Being adult is no longer age. It's about your mindset.
Yep.
Well, then I am most certainly not an adult.
All right. So
Me, Noah. I'm talking about Noah.
I formally apologize, but also you did it to yourself, everyone.
Whoops! I saw a big button.
You pressed the button and then made someone else stand in front of the door. You didn't make
No.
anybody.
Classic.
No,
You
I
willingly stepped in
tried.
front of the door.
I tried to.
Yeah, he stepped in
sleep.
front of the door and then I said, no,
Mm-hmm.
you're squishy.
No.
You're squishy. I thinks.
It's like in Harry Potter, housekeeping, and the thing screams at the housemaid and closes the door. I'll come back later. All right, let's wrap things up here in Batista and get you guys on the road to Jiangwei. Let's real quick do the shopping thing that Vex so graciously did outside of game. So, Alri, would you like to pass out your fun stuff that you got for everybody?
Yes.
Presents.
So,
And you,
Ayo.
oh, sorry, 1 second. There's the Bloodwell vial that's not attuned by anybody now. So you're a warlock, Blair. Oh my gosh, Basil. You're a warlock. You can have the Bloodwell vial unless Xander really wants it.
I'm good.
all right. So we're gonna go down.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
Down the list. Take it away, Penny.
Aylwin, you get a cloak of invisibility.
Ooh.
Basil, you get a rod of security.
Because you fucking need it.
Thank you.
I'm
Danya,
tagging
you
you.
get an amulet of health. Hendrix, you get a rod of resurrection.
Oh!
And Xander, you get a cape of the mountebank.
Defense?
Give it the money!
Ooh.
And Rowan is not here right now, but Rowan gets a chime of opening and a dagger of venom.
Oh lord, that is a very wow. Alright.
I get the fancy cape.
You get Michelle's favorite magic item. So you go on a little shopping spree. You go to the black market of Matista, which is AKA you just go into the Underdark for another 3 seconds. Alri, do you go by yourself or do you take anyone with you?
I go by myself. I want
Okay,
these
cool.
items to be a surprise.
Cool. Aubrey, you go into the Underdark and you recognize the entrance to the portal, but all these things don't attack you because the Keeper has allowed you to enter the woods that he maintains for the Underdark Queen. You go in, you go just a little bit down, and there's a little outskirts, town of sorts. And you go in there, you find a black market, and you buy a shit ton of magic items. You pawn the money into actual currency, and after a moment or so, you try to gather all the things back up, but you're having a hard time because, missing an arm currently. But as you're gathering the things, you turn around and see, at the edge of the forest in shadow, the 15-foot tall shadow of the Keeper. The deer-like body just kind of stares at you, and two white glowing lights appear as eyes. Do you need any help carrying that back to your friends?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I just have to figure out how to fit it in my bag.
Of course, I understand. How about this? Some of the trees shudder out of fear or support. You can't really tell. They move and bend to the will of this creature, and a small donkey just walks out of the forest holding these large little bag containers of sorts that are about chest level for you, where you could put the stuff in. Just so that you can put everything in and bring all the stuff back out and not have to lug it without both shoulders working for a backpack. You do have like a crater in your body currently, so consider it a gift. I just want people to get back home.
I appreciate it.
Tell your friends I said hello.
I will.
The white disappears and the shadow turns into a tree, as before. You leave the Underdark, and you bring everyone their gifts. Do you tell everyone that the Keeper said hi? Wait, what did you say?
God, my life has gotten so fucking weird.
Said the giant ceramic crystal person.
That's normal to me.
Is there anything anyone else wants to do before leaving Matista to hit the road?
I feel like until they have to leave, Xander is just gonna continue cuddling Inky and just like petting him, and then when they get ready to leave, they're gonna be like,
I mean, since you're feeling better now, and we know like Dad's at least okay, you want to go back to Mom and Amalia? Okay, I love you. I'm glad you feel better.
and they're gonna like plant a kiss on his inky little head, and then just like open the bag up for him so he can crawl in whenever.
Disappears inside. He pokes his head back out. He pokes his head back out, looking over at you, Aelin, and just kind of his tail goes out and like waves at you.
I think you made a friend.
And disappears into the bag.
Puppy.
If nobody else has anything specific they'd like to do, then Aelin, as you're waiting and watching everyone kind of mingle around, and you see Zarina return with the arm of Ulri, attaching it within this amount of time of waiting until dinner, at least, for things to even out. You remember that Artemis's shift starts soon. if you want to catch him before leaving the city, it'd have to be now.
Are we?
We don't have to. We don't have to.
We can come back once we're done with this. If that would be better.
Okay, see, what you're supposed to do is force me to go, because otherwise I will never go.
I can force you to go if you like.
Asking it makes it harder.
Does Alri have their arm on yet?
Zarina is, like, attaching it with leather straps and is, like, trying to, like, tie it into place. This arm is not going to work as good as it used to for a little bit. Your body does naturally heal because you are magic and of the gods. Soup's cash. But you will have disadvantage. You still have levels of exhaustion is how I'm playing into your arm being fucked. You have levels of exhaustion.
Sure.
And she's trying to, like, tell you, like, be careful. You guys are having a conversation. And so big tall lady is just like, I'll just wait to tell you the aftercare of your arm.
If it's best to go, I'll talk to Danya as well, but we're here. And well, Jullian's alive for now. So we're in a hurry, but well, we might not be alive in a few days, and so loose ends and all that, I think.
Yeah, if I wait, it'll just be worse.
Okay. So you grab Alri. Do you make an attempt to grab Danya?
Aelin's gonna go over to Danya and say, Danya, we're going to go pick up a few things before we head out. Can you help me? And well, I'm not the strongest one, and Ari's only got one arm. Can you just give us a hand?
Aelin, roll me a deception check, and Danya, roll me an insight check.
Can I, like, make a creaking sound with my arm to, like, indicate, like, my arm is fucked up and you need to help?
It's a 19 for deception with disadvantage.
Why do you have disadvantage?
Because I'm exhausted.
Oh.
Because he failed a thing. So what did you get, Danya?
I got a 22.
Okay, so
I was
Alri.
trying to give the help action.
Okay. It's not a perfect help. I'll say. Which was, you wouldn't have disadvantage, but was the 19 the highest?
No.
Okay, so what was the first one you did?
The first one I did was the 19.
Okay, so that would technically be the one I'd let you keep. I'll just let you re-roll. How's that? I'll let you re-roll no disadvantage. A technical help.
Nope.
Nah. Danya, you feel like there's definitely something that's not being outlined, but you mean, like, they're going to do something. Alri doesn't have a working arm. Regardless, you know you're gonna probably have to go to make sure that they don't break the arm again. But you're like, there's a different reason you're asking me to come. There's a different reason.
Ori, how did you manage to get all this that shopping done with only one arm?
I told you, the Shadowkeeper said hello and
But-
let me borrow a donkey.
Yes,
That's not a donkey. Hold on. I can't do it with my cold. I used to be able to do a really good donkey.
The donkey says.
We saw.
I used to be able to do that. I think it's because I have a cold. Fuck. Man, that sucks. It's a really good donkey. I can still do my monkey. That's all that matters. I can do my monkey noise. Donkey noise insert here. Yeah, the donkey's just kind of sitting, holding all the stuff.
Oh, I've handed it out at this point.
Yeah. Well, the bags and stuff that it came with. It's just standing there.
Mm.
It's waiting to be told it's dismissed.
Oh yeah, I would have said that as soon as like the stuff was out of the bag. I would have been like, yeah, you're good to go.
So you're like, yeah, the keeper says hello. Aolin looks around frantically. Aolin, you see the donkey. The donkey looks at you. The eyes like flash white once, and then you see the body of the donkey turn back into twigs and leaves of a tree, and then drop to the ground like there was nothing there. Just this donkey was turned to bark and hits the ground.
I'm out. Basil runs.
Basil said nope.
Nick is
Not
like,
today.
quit being scary. Don't be.
Okay. I guess I'm probably the best person to help. So, let's go.
Aelin isn't subtle about it. Just beeline for the tavern. Not saying where they're going though.
Danya, you get like 30 feet from the tavern, and you've got a good feeling of what you're about to be going to do.
Once he gets to that point in which he processes it, he just stops. Aolin, I told you. I do not think my presence would help Artemis.
I mean, it's been a day. It's been a full 24 hours. Anything could have happened in 24 hours.
Could change your
Anya,
mind.
It's
You can
inside.
change your mind. Roll me an intimidation check.
Oh god.
With disadvantage.
An 11. The other one would have been like a 23.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm.
Danya, you do sense like a commanding presence off of Aolin, but you can definitely see Aolin's really tired. And it's not so much like he fails to intimidate you, it's just like a exasperated get inside instead of like an authoritative get inside. With your passive insight, I'll just kind of you're really smart. You're really observant. You avoided Jed and he died. What's gonna happen if you avoid Artemis?
I met the kid once.
Still, I have a like me as a storyteller knowing how you made Danya. I know definitely that's in his head. But do what you want. You have been asked to go inside.
If this goes wrong,
Then we'll
You
be
will
dead
be.
in a few days. Let's go.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is for everyone else, not Danya, Alri, and Aelin, you guys can go take your break real fast, go run, bathroom, do stuff. I'll run this scene with them, and when they get back, you guys will go, and then we'll get back together and do the leaving the city stuff. Okay. You guys enter into the tavern and quickly see that it's busy, but not like super busy inside. The dinner rush comes a little bit later, around 6:30 is usually when people get in there for food. You can see Artemis has come down from downstairs. He's just putting on like an apron. He looks like he might be in the kitchen tonight, and he sees you guys enter and kind of sheepishly smiles and like rubs the back of his head and takes in Alri and Danya. He drops his hands, he takes his glasses off. Walks over. Hi.
I think we should all have a conversation. Can I buy you a drink and get us a table? I think your shift is...
I got a little bit. I was gonna get on early for a little bit more coin, but if you're paying for food, then I don't need to get food, so kind of evens out. I can manage. Yeah, we can get a, like a booth. He kind of moves off, clears out a booth, and he like snaps his fingers and puts his hand up. And you guys recognize he casts some sort of spell, but for Aelin, you know this. He's casting silence on a specific part of the booth to where no one can hear the conversation, but you guys can hear each other. So it's like a closing off situation. No one will have like any idea of what you're talking about on the outside. Like one-way glass, but with a voice. You guys take time to wait for food and drink, and Oliver, you sit there because you don't eat or drink. Excuse me. Oh my god. Artemis goes and like grabs the food and stuff. He purposefully busies himself before he sits down. And he pulls his eyes away from the table. Looks at you, Aelin, like he's trying to build up the energy and stamina to look at the other two next to you. For one, I'm sorry for shouting at you yesterday. It was a lot happening and being said, and I felt really alone. I hope you can forgive me.
If we're all seated at the booth, I feel like it is most likely that Aelin would be the one next to him, unless the three of us are on one side against.
That's whatever you want to do. Like if you're going to be sitting next to him, he turn to look at you.
Okay. Aelin just kind of turn, and he'll place a hand on Artemis's shoulder. And it was a justifiable reaction to what we were saying to you. There's no ill will there. I have nothing to hold against you.
Thanks. Turns and looks at you, Danya. Hi.
I don't really know what you would get from this, but I don't really. I regret a lot of things. I don't know exactly what Jed told you or your dad told you. I'm sure you at least know that we were no longer together.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you could also have started with, "Hey, Artemis, good to see you," and I'd say it's good to see you too. You know.
I've never been one for
No,
proper
I
introduction.
know. Always Mr. Serious, I know. He gives you like a little smile, like he's trying to be funny, but he knows like you're not receptible to certain things, and
I'd just like to say I'm sorry.
for what?
Just for shutting you guys out.
That did kind of suck, but I mean, people go through stuff. Thank you. Was there anything else you wanted to say, or?
Sorry, I had the cough.
Thank you. Save me.
There's still that fragment of hope that I hope you can keep.
I'll try. If you think he's still out there, I'll think he's still out there. You're the smart one.
Which Ed was not.
No, he was not. My dad was a fucking idiot. Wasn't he? He looks at you, Aelin.
Yeah.
Need to find a way to die in a bakery.
Yeah.
This may not be my place, but even if he's not with us, I may have found a solution. He might just look a little different afterwards.
There's a faltering kind of reaction to Artemis. Hope, recognition, fear, concern. He goes through a lot of stages of different emotions when he sees you. But the first thing he says, the strange thing he says, what you did not expect him to say, "You're hurt. Are you okay?"
I've had worse.
Will you be okay?
Once I kill the blaze.
It has a name.
It does.
Artemis grabs your arm. Artemis grabs your arm, Aelin, as you can definitely tell he is stifling back a panic attack, a PTSD episode. He is trying to stay in this moment without going berserk.
Aelin will just kind of gently keep a hand on his arm and try to keep him there.
It's a dragon.
We killed one of its minions today.
That's good, right?
And then when I went to fight him, he ran away.
I don't understand.
I'm a lot stronger than I used to be. Turns out suddenly coming to life doesn't mean that you know how to control yourself and
Yeah.
how to hit things well.
Yeah. I remember you. You tried protecting us. My family.
That was my job.
My sister woke you up. I used to think her crying was annoying. She was so loud when she was young.
She always had the worst nightmares.
Yeah. I'm sorry you lost her too.
I don't know if we're gonna survive this. We're going up against a dragon, and who knows, but if we do, I might have found something that can bring her back.
What?
And I might have found someone who can use it.
You...
But I won't bring her back into a world that's not safe for her.
Okay. I feel the same clause that you did earlier, jutting in. But where are you pulling out revival spells out of your ass?
I reach into my bag and pull out a reincarnation dust. And then I reach into my bag and pull out 2 more. Also, I gave Hendrix a rod of resurrection.
I have to call my brother. I have to get a hold of him.
These only work for 10 days, but the rod works for...
I'm adopted, Danya. I've got family that's not Jed.
a century.
He like scoots out of the booth and he goes over.
There's a 5% chance it evaporates.
He scoots out of the booth and goes over to you, Alri, and just like he's gonna hug you, and then he like stops and he's like, "Can I hug you, please?"
I do it with one arm because I'm worried about stressing the other arm too much.
He just like tackles you in at the biggest hug you can even fathom. Just crying, muttering to himself, just thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wait until I actually succeed.
He gets back up, he wipes his face, he sits back down next to you, Aelin, and just kind of like, he like rests his head on your shoulder a little bit, just like trying to calm down. He's having a lot of feelings. And then Danya, you go, "You have a brother?" And he sits up. "Yeah, well, before Jed took me in, I thought I was the only part of my family that was left. But we found out that my older brother had escaped as well. I've talked to him in recent years, but he's taken over the family name and kind of he's leading he's leading everything currently. I don't really talk about my parents, but he gestures to his like pointed half elven ears, and we're Fae, part Fae. Our dad was a part of the our mom was a part of the Sealy court, the Feywild, and my brother's kind of in charge of a court by himself right now. You maybe have heard of him. His name's Tentev, Prince Tentev Sarng.
Have I?
You have. He is the current ruler of the city Marmro, which is across the Expanse. He's on the opposite side of the capital. He is the prince. He is the current and only prince of the summer court of Sealy. Not just a normal little court. He's the prince under Queen Titania of the summer court. He currently is like the presiding prince, because Queen Titania only has a daughter, doesn't have a son.
Hmm.
And it really sucks that Nev isn't here, because Nev has something to do with him. Anyways. Sorry, Nev, we love you!
You'll watch this all later.
Woo!
Maybe.
Yeah, we're kind of royalty.
Had I known this, I wouldn't have broken up with him.
Jed was just Jed. Jed adopted me. I'm the royalty.
I mean, he could still get in with you.
You want to use my dad for being royal?
Anya, stop while you're ahead.
Why did you break up with my dad? You opened the door. I'm stepping through.
It was the situation with Tanya, or Talia. I know my sister, I promise.
Hiya!
I kind of just shut down, and I wasn't ready to come out.
Like,
You already knew you were gay.
I hate to break it to you, Tanya. If you're dating my dad, I feel like...
I'm trying to be vulnerable here.
Sorry, no, continue.
It was just, I don't think I was ready to process it, and I think your dad... I didn't want to get...
You didn't want to process your sister being gone, so you pushed him away because you were afraid of hurting him in the process.
Sorry, my cat's having the zoomies.
You can't really ship Jed and Danya, apparently.
Yes, that probably sums it up in words I could probably not articulate.
Well, Danya, I kind of know a thing or two about not being ready to process your sister dying. So... Oh, thanks, Ayla. He also was really pushy, so he just... I don't know if he would ever tell you, but he really did care about you. And
I know.
He was just frustrated that you were hurting and he knew and he couldn't do anything to help.
didn't. I thought more bad would come from me with him than good.
Well, if I know my dad, and if Aelin knows my dad, out of everybody he's ever dated, slept with, randomly ran into, and had a dinner with, got slapped by, you're the only person who ever made him laugh and smile that way. So, how did you say it? A glimmer of hope? If I keep it, you keep it.
Deal. I mean, but I do know that we do have magic powders, so...
Yeah, we're just gonna force them to snort it? Is that how it works? Are they just, like, gonna get covered in it?
Like, even
There's instructions in the bag.
Oh,
Okay,
he opens one of the bags and, like, pulls it out. He's, like, reading it. Puts his glasses on. Oh, okay. It's not an ingestible. That kind of makes sense, because they're dead.
Always good to read the instructions.
I mean, that was one of the first things we were taught.
I don't always.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Is it like a sprinkle, or is that like...
It's like you sprinkle it and say some stuff, but it has to be from a holy... You mix it with holy water, and it's like a whole... Really tiny letters. We're eating. I don't want to just bust out the scripture here. He puts it back in the bag. And you guys finish have the rest of your meal. And it's nice. There's not bad blood at the end of it. There's actually a little bit of happiness in this little sad reunion and meeting of sorts.
As we're saying our farewells at the end of it, Aelin's going to doff the Cloak of Elvenkind and wrap it around Artemis. This would help you stay hidden if danger comes back. This
Okay.
would help you blend in. And kind of I move it around a little bit to show him how it kind of camouflages him in the background.
He wraps it around his shoulders, and it's just his head that's showing. But then he moves, and it like immediately disturbs it. Oh.
Something to help. I don't know
Thanks.
it's coming. I have to find one now.
I didn't even notice you're
Disappear.
wearing. Whoa. Okay, Dick. I was. That was cool. How'd you do that?
Ari, we really went on a shopping spree.
Alri.
I'll find this out.
It's your name? It's Alri.
That's what she called me.
Alri. That's really
Everything's gonna
funny.
be all right.
Wow. That's really cool. Ugh, is it raining? I'm giving you one more hug, okay? He goes over and he just bump. You're really tall. It's nice.
I think it was supposed to be intimidating.
I mean, it works. You guys travel safe, okay?
Where's the fun in that?
Fair. Hey, Danya?
Yes.
Extends his hands out towards you.
Fine.
Gets you right in the center of your body. Big old squeeze.
Danya's not very good at hugging, as it might be obvious. So it's very much a weak, kind of just like a kind of just a general discomfort in not really knowing how to do it properly.
Danya definitely goes limp in whenever you hug him. He's one of those like cold fish huggers.
Cold fish. Basil, Xander, and Hendrix, you guys are all sitting in the cart that you guys traveled here in, and you look out and you see Aolin, Artemis, Danya, and Ulrich. There's a lot of A's. All standing at the front of the tavern, and Danya has gone dead fish in Artemis's embrace. But you eventually see Danya, arms up, pat, a little acceptance of a hug. And things look okay. Basil, your parents come over one last time, packing stuff into the cart. They pack a lot of food. Big Basil family hug. All the Springfoots. Big old squeezes. You travel safe, okay?
You two, does anyone else want to join this hug?
Hendrix run over. Yeah, Hendrix run over. He runs over too.
Oh, hi, Hendrix. Nice to see you again. There we go.
Alan
Hi,
just
Xander.
wraps his arms entirely around the entire Springfoot family.
Artemis is like slowly inching his way over. Come on, Danya. There's a group hug happening.
Basil starts chanting from the middle.
I just
Group
did
hug.
one.
Group hug. Group
Group
hug.
hug.
Group hug. Group hug. Group hug.
Artemis pushes Danya into it. Ori!
Yeah, I'm coming.
Group hug! Rowan has stealthed away, but then gets grabbed by somebody from the center and yanked into the middle.
I don't know why, but my broken arm is making me walk slower.
I don't know what's going. Artemis, I can help it. Like comes around and starts pushing you. And you guys all have a little group hug moment. Big sweet group hug.
Woo.
And you guys hit the road, Jack. You
Don't come back no more.
You set a course for the capital city of Jiangwei. So for my 3 bimbos that had to do cute, sad roleplay, you guys can go have your break real fast. I'm making my way. Where is
Downtown.
my... There's Matt.
Walking
All
fast.
Now, Mama Ollie, I'm on my way.
Right over every step I take.
I don't know what song we're singing now.
Wait, you don't know the Phil Collins On My Way?
No, I meant like we went boop, 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 boop. We had to bounce between a few
Oh.
songs.
Tell everybody I'm on my way. New friends and new places to see.
At least I bounced around in my head anyway.
Skies ahead, yes, I'm on my way. And there's no one else that I'd rather be. I need to rewatch that movie. Alright, you gremlins. We're gonna do some random encounter shit.
No.
Yes, we're doing random encounter shit.
Did we any chance we got a short rest in there?
You guys will be getting a long rest. So once everyone's back, we'll do all the things. I just want to give you guys the chance to roleplay. Hendrix, do you want to do anything in particular as you're getting situated? The cart has 2 kind of purple and pink crystal horses pulling it.
Hendrix, though enjoyed the hug, is now like he's gonna kind of like find a spot to kind of sit away from everybody and just take out his notebook and he just starts writing.
What you writing about?
Well, I take that back. He's not actually writing. He's drawing currently,
Oh,
and he is drawing the 2 horses.
roll me a performance check. See how good of a
Sure.
drawing it is.
Oh, hey, that's not bad. It's not bad. Let's what I add to that performance. What do I have in performance?
It's
I got a
charisma.
+3, so that's 22.
22.
Not bad.
Not bad for a cleric. All right.
No.
You start, you sit and you're drawing the horses. One of them notices you and like picks up one of the hoofs to like pose a little bit and just kind of sits a little bit, kind of sweetly. Gonna restart our music because it's being stupid. Excuse me. Gonna grab some water here in a minute for myself.
Please do.
Fuck me. I know you've been kicked, jockey. You're coming back. There we go. Actually, hold on to that thought. I'm gonna go grab my water before I start role-playing once more, so 1 second, guys. I shall return. Gotta get some water.
Abigail is still slightly loopy from having to get her teeth cleaned and some bad ones taken out.
Oh no.
And she'll just be like chilling and just like staring off and dissociating into space, and then we'll suddenly get the zoomies.
Honestly, sounds like a great time.
And it's like she doesn't just like casually walk anywhere. She'll just be sitting and she'll start scurrying and sprinting down the hallway. She's like, I am speed.
I am speed. Pretty good.
Right. Now I am situated. Okay. Excuse me. Get situated. This fucking sweater is suffocating me, but it's cute.
Sweater. Howdy.
The best time I wear a striped sweater.
Is all the time.
Okay, Hendrix. You're
Yeah.
drawing the horses. You're having a. You're being sweet. The horses are posing for you, and they actually come out really good. You're able to pull out some. I call them fantasy crayons. It's just like colored wax and things. Like you can make crayons in the industrial era, I think, or I'll allow it. Fantasy crayons. You color them in, and they look pretty good. And Xander, as you're kind of waiting for everybody to get situated in the cart, you lean over and you can see Hendrix is drawing the horses, and he's doing a pretty good job. Like genuinely, it's like wow.
Did a real good job. Xander's just like sitting there and just like looking around, and they're like,
do a little lean.
There's like those horses look really good.
Oh, yeah. I guess. I mean, they do make great subjects for drawing.
You like to draw a lot.
I like to keep track of things I find interesting and things that happen.
Cause I mean, yeah, like crystal horses are like really cool because they just like, I mean, like they move and stuff, but sometimes they just stand there and then like don't move for like hours.
Yeah, that's probably why the drawings come out so good.
Nice.
They're not they don't move a lot extra anyway. It seems to be all very pointed, I guess.
They are really pointy, probably because they're crystal. Their ears look like real sharp.
Yes, that is true.
My
Well,
God, look at Abigail. Stop.
oh, you adorable.
Loopy little baby.
Pet me.
It's overload.
What are you doing? Do you want to roleplay too? Do you want to be Ezekiel for me?
Abigail, roll a d20.
Want to roll? Want to roll? In the egg?
So cute.
Okay, bye.
And the cuteness is over now.
Give her a hand. All right.
She left. Abigail, everybody.
Yeah, Abigail.
Okay, we're talking about crystal horses.
Yeah.
Completely
One of the horses leans over after you say very pointy ears, and it kind of pokes you a little bit, Xander. Just kind of playfully pokes you.
I like scritch, scritch, scritch. I give the little. I don't know. Just because it's crystal, so I don't know.
It's more like a pat. A pat and a kind of brush.
Oh, they seem to be very intelligent too. That's interesting.
I wonder if they can do math.
What's 3 plus 3? It was only 5, I think.
No, that was 6.
Oh.
That
I
was
can't
6.
count.
Math.
Whoa, that's impressive. Wow, that's actually And he just starts. Then he just like immediately like was sidetracked and just starts going back to writing more stuff underneath where he was drawing.
They can do math.
Horses do math.
Super smart.
Basil, you lean over and you see the drawing. You've been hearing this conversation as you've been saying goodbye to your parents and stuff.
Have you ever like drawn not super real stuff and like put funny things on them? Like I think the horse would look super great with a top hat, and maybe the other horse would be great if you drew like a little mustache, like a little curly mustache on him.
Yeah, it will be really cool.
He flips to the very back page of his journal, and then he flips like forward a few pages, and he turns it around, and it's just a bunch of bunnies in like funny costumes.
I have that costume.
Well, they were costumes your people used to have.
He showed me. It was a bunny onesie, and it was so funny because why would a bunny wear a bunny
Or
onesie?
a bunny onesie. I know. The 4 years cracks me up every time.
If I were a hearing aid, I would wear a bunny onesie.
He wore it every time of the year, and then he'd like hide little legs around the backyard for us, and then we'd have to find him. And then we thought it would be like a fun little game, but then every once in a while, he'd pop out of the bushes and hit us with an egg and go, "Ha ha! You shouldn't have grabbed that egg!" And then he'd hide back in the bushes. It was weird, but he loved to play it. We called it Egg Hunt.
That sounds really. I would play Egg Hunt. I want to play Egg Hunt.
We're gonna need some eggs. We should have bought some eggs.
Maybe later, when all this stuff is done, we could just have like a big Egg Hunt.
I think
I
we
would
can manage
love
that.
to have an Egg Hunt.
Oh, I'm glad you were able to sort of get back in touch with your people. He was a very, very good man. Bunny, herring.
Yep. It's nice to know that Peepaw isn't ever too far.
You can cast disguise self at will, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You see, Xander, a glint off of excuse me. Oh my god. Xander, you see a glint of like purple energy on the glaive, which you know Peepaw resides in. And you kind of absent-mindedly reach your hand out towards it and touch it. and in the blink of an eye, you disguise self has been cast on you, and you are a purple and gold herringon.
That's Peepaw's onesie! How'd you do that?
Well, that's cool.
Are you Peepaw?
I don't think I'm Peepaw. Let me. No, I still have my sauce. I'm not Peepaw.
In the back of your head, you just hear cackling from Peepaw. in your head, Basil.
In my head.
In
Peepaw
your
says-
head, Peepaw.
Peepaw! Peepaw says you look fantastic.
I feel fantastic.
Do you think you could do like a cool jump? Oh, can you do a backflip?
I mean, like sometimes, like on like a really good day, like I could do a really cool backflip. So like I can try. Maybe just like not in the cart though.
That's probably here, and then I give you guidance.
Hey,
I guess you're doing it now.
yeah,
Do it
Xander's
in the cart,
totally.
though.
In the cart.
Yeah, it'll be cooler
That's so
that way.
cool. It's like a high-speed chase, and then you're doing like flips in the cart, and they're like shooting arrows at us, and you're like fake dodging arrows.
Yeah, and then I like shoot like a lightning bolt out of my like little like loot or like something. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a backflip.
And they're gonna like get in the center of the cart and just like prep and like do the little squats and like make sure there's enough room. And then
Make me an acrobatics check.
run me what guidance is.
It's a D4.
Okay, that's what I thought.
These bitches, they're doing cartwheels.
One group has super sad.
Bunny
emotional,
talented
one
and do
group-
cartwheels.
One
Well,
group
hey,
makes
I mean,
buddies and.
Xander's in a cart, so it really is a cartwheel.
I'm going to shoot myself.
That's a
Womp
25.
Let's go.
Do
Yo.
I backflip?
Roll me a D4.
Three.
So, Oliver, you're driving. Down here, you're chilling in your usual spot. Rowan is like asleep in the corner, and Aelin, you're also. Would you be on top, or would you be like on top of the cart, or would you be inside? Because there's enough room.
Let's say, what kind of cart is this? Sorry.
It's like a covered cart of sorts. It's like if I had I'm like a carriage of sorts, but with horses at the front.
So up top, kind of like in the driver's position, or
Yeah.
Okay, I was picturing like, sitting on top of like a canvas wagon.
No. A little bit more fancy, like Victorian carriage.
He's pulling a gray.
Listen. Sometimes the super mutant gotta sit on top of the car, okay?
Sometimes that's how it gotta be.
I'll say because he's exhausted, probably until the morning's starting to come, he'll be inside the wagon.
Alright. So, Aelin, you're trying to sleep, and then you hear dun dun dun, and you open your eyes and you see the tail end of a three end over end backflip handspring going into a bunch of gymnastics and then landing hands up of Xander, basically going into a whole gymnastics routine.
But bunny.
Yeah, purple bunny.
And then you see Xander is a bunny. And you look over, you see Basil, but you look over and Xander's color is bunny.
Aelin grabs the cherries that he's been eating and just looks at them really closely and gives them a sniff.
Make me a nature check. Make me a nature check.
Are these fermented?
Fermented cherries.
Oh my god, drugs.
16.
They look like normal cherries. You look like one of them. They taste like normal cherries. You do see there are some blue ones in there that you were warned about by Teresa. You don't think you've eaten any of them. You look back up and Xander looks like their normal tiefling self, and you just immediately look back down at your fruit.
What?
We need to sleep this off.
Poor buddy.
Oh dear. Nail just passes back out.
Alright. So the journey begins. You all head towards the capital, Jiangwei. Here in the Expanse, you say goodbye to Matista, the dusty cobblestone roads, the canvas buildings, and you leave behind the Primevals. Because, God, those people sucked.
Yeah.
You all long rest. We go from 3 levels of exhaustion to 2 for Alri, none for Aolin. Oh my god. If someone could roll me a d20. Let's, nose goes. And Vex, roll me a d20.
I was taking my long rest.
Well, you gotta expect the unexpected, bitch. No,
10.
you're fine. 10. Okay. Let's see here. What you discover as you travel. Huzzah! Tell everybody. So sorry, guys. You're not excused. How dare you? Probably be a few days. Gotta get the source book up and running so I can tell you what you found. There we go. 10.
9.
8.
8.
7.
Roll me a d10. Buddy.
Yeah, close enough.
6.
Huh.
3.
I don't like that sound.
Basically, your party members die.
So everyone except you.
Gets hit with a meteor.
Oh my god, no. It's like The Sims.
Everyone except for you gets knocked in the head with no stairs.
As the scorching sun begins, beating down on the vast arid expanse, the desert around you, you're directing this cart forward. And it's jostling and bouncing as it's moving through sand dunes, going over patches of rocks. The 2 crystal horses pulling are coated in a thick layer of sand as they are just being bombarded by the wind. As you're pushing the cart forward, on the horizon you see a body of water in the desert. And you hesitate briefly, peering out at the shimmering surface of the water. It stretches out, reflecting the harsh rays of the sun like a mirror, its depth unknown, unpredictable. It is currently in the way of getting through.
Well, I'm not the one who's driving, so that's not my problem.
You're just sitting up in the driver's seat going, okay, horses, you know what to do.
Wait, no, I thought someone else was driving.
I just defaulted that you would be driving because you did it the
I'm
last time.
here,
Never mind.
And you're here. Who's
I think-
driving the car?
I can't take the reins.
I
My
know.
arm will come
Yeah.
off.
You guys, it's just Aelin and Aelin's just looking out, and
Aelin's-
Alri looking out and looking at each other. No one's driving.
The brain cells are brain celling.
Aelin has the reins and just looks over to Ori. That's a mirage, right?
Make your own kind of music. Sing.
Are constructs susceptible to mirages? I thought it was a fuck up of your weird fleshy biology.
Do you see it?
Yeah?
I guess you're susceptible to a mirage.
Or it's not a mirage.
I've lived in the desert all my life. I think that's a mirage.
One of the horses has leaned forward and started drinking from the water.
Oh, I thought this was a way away.
I mean, you didn't stop him.
They just kept going.
Would
I
you
don't
have
think it's a
stopped them?
mirage.
Would you have stopped them not going close enough? Or would you just not have thought of it? The horses would just keep going.
We're
They
too
were-
busy talking about it.
Yeah.
They absolutely, like, the horses just did their own thing.
They were told forward, and they go forward. One of them is just drinking from the.
I guess it's not a mirage. How deep do you think it is?
Can I, like, take a pebble and, like, take... What do I have in my bag that I can throw in there?
There's rocks everywhere. You could definitely find one to
Alright.
throw.
Funk.
Roll me either an athletics or acrobatics just to see if there's a little bit of a skip before it sinks.
Yeah, sure. As soon as I remember which tab my abilities are under. Oh, right, it's not under a tab. I'm stupid.
Vex, how long have you been using D&D now?
Vex
I
is
don't wanna talk about
actually method acting the levels of exhaustion right now.
19.
It skips like 3 times and then. You feel like there's a. Like you see the rock disappear, and then it just kind of disappears into like a lot of darkness, and you have no idea if it's hit the bottom or not. Seems pretty. You can't tell if it's like either really shallow or really deep. You're not close enough. You're still in a cart. Just through a rock.
I don't want to get out of the cart.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Because you put sand monsters in your desert.
Yeah. That's normal for a
Hendrix gets out of
D&D
the cart.
desert. Hendrix, you get out of the cart and poof, your feet go into the sand a little bit and you waddle over and it's like a little bit of a dip. There's enough for the horses to like reach in and get their water without, like also eating sand. You just what do you do?
Just kind of like I grab like a vial or something I have on me and reach down and dip a little bit of the water.
Like a darker blue than you expected.
That's kind of odd for water. Like someone put food coloring in it.
Fantasy food coloring.
Where all your dreams come true. Can we go around?
Make a perception check.
Hey, 4.
The water just kind of goes in both directions a good bit.
Well, guess we're gonna have to turn all the way around and go all the way back.
Aelin's
Did we
gonna
go through
reach
it?
back into the wagon and grab the staff of defense and just start using it to tap out like, a little bit ahead. Like, get out of the wagon and just kind of start walking forward, tapping in front of them.
You go into the water.
Yes.
You go into the water and it's like at your ankles, and then you wade in a little bit. It goes up to like your knees, and then your waist, and then like the middle of your chest, and it seems to be about as deep as it actually is. And you actually step on the pebble that got thrown in there at one point.
It looks to be only about 5, maybe 6 feet deep.
Well, that's good. Can the horses pull the cart through that? I'm not sure.
I mean,
Yes, I worry that the cart will flood. Maybe.
Is there anything we're worried about it getting wet? I mean, it could dry out.
Danya. We're worried about getting Danya wet. The cat of the
You know-
party.
hey,
I don't know
hey,
yet,
it's
so-
they're nice, water resistant. I'm good.
Danya's gonna be like a wet cat, just angry.
Does anybody
I'm
know
only
how to
gonna be
build
mad
a
if I
bridge?
pour something there.
Is there anything to build a bridge with?
You could look through the cart and see if there's anything.
How far across is this?
Maybe like 60 feet.
Pretty
What's
far.
up?
And how heavy is the cart?
Pretty?
I was gonna say, because with my new little fancy loot, I can cast levitate
Oh,
up
Oh.
to
On one
500
thing.
Could at least get the car.
The horses are just pulling it like it's a fucking balloon. So
Let's
all of you
swim
guys,
across.
all of you
For
guys
once
get
the
out of the cart. They're just looking at
for
the
once
water.
the cart pulls the horses.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that certainly makes things easier.
We can put anything that can't get wet in the cart. And
The Chitterin literally can cast
Yeah.
levitate. I completely forgot.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, wait a minute. I was like, if
Wait a
anything,
minute.
I could just float it.
Rowan's like, I'm not getting in the water.
You can
Do
ride.
you stay in the cart?
Yeah, you can stay in the cart.
And the car flies.
That sounds dangerous.
you can ride on my shoulders. I can
Yeah.
just walk through.
I'm
Oh,
getting
there
in
you
the cart.
Are we on your shoulders?
Okay.
I get to be tall.
So, I suppose you're going to be casting levitate on the cart.
I mean, I totally can if that's the only solution you can come up with.
Got you, moonlight, need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitated. Is that what Xander does to make it levitate?
Probably.
I'm
Why not?
okay. You want me? I want you, baby. All right. You all get out of the cart except Rowan, and you cast levitate on the cart. It kind of sparks a little bit with electricity, and then like wobbles a little bit up into the air. You can control how high it goes too. So, Rowan's just sitting and like grabbing on to like one side of the wall and like the window of the cart, and it's just like, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
I'm not gonna have it go up like super far or anything ridiculous. Just like a decent amount above the water so it doesn't get all wet. And I imagine the horses are they just like dangling?
Back legs kind of went up for a second, but you pull it back down so they're all on the floor.
How deep is the water again?
How deep is your love? It's like 5 feet.
Well,
So, do the rest of you just go into the water, or
Hendrix.
Gonna keep
That's-
using the staff of defense. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Just tapping in front of him.
I'm just getting in, and I'm like, I'm gonna start like washing my hair and stuff while everybody's crossing. Taking my time.
Yeah, Danya's gonna like kind of change into something like a bit less heavy. Just so we can change back into dry clothes.
you
once
got one of
he's
those
out.
Victorian bathing suits, like the black and white stripes with the frills on the
It's not a
sleeves?
total like.
It's like your shirt and pants combo. You got little floaties and the eyeglasses.
He is a
It's
normal
like a
man.
suit. It's
He
like a
just
full-on suit, bathing suit.
He just doesn't like bright colors. This
He's
is
got a
only
mermaid
quirk.
tail, one of those feet things for a mermaid tail.
My man is being
It changes that
slandered.
he's a mermaid if he gets in the water.
Yes,
Desperation.
vampire mermaid.
He's the king of the waves. You know the Barbie fucking thing with the surfers? It goes the mermaid. Every
You know,
turn
it's probably
I take.
it's probably just like a light button-up T-shirt instead of like a
Okay.
full-on thing, and then probably some shorts, and then he just takes off his shoes and stuff.
And puts on the mermaid tail. Oh no.
I'm gonna invite you.
I love that the whole thing with Danya is we bullied Danya out of character. It's just so much love. I immediately thought of like Wednesday Addams bathing suit from when it's like, I'm trying, I can't swim.
Danya had Talia. Like Donnie was probably like that in like middle and high school, but Talia probably bullied him out of it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Hendrix, you're gonna be getting more in the water than everyone else. Is anyone else gonna like bathe like Hendrix maybe?
No, Danya's just gonna like actually swim across, not even walk across, just like full
Aelin,
on.
you are covered in a healing potion. You smell like cough syrup. Honey. Just cherry cough syrup matted into your fur.
As Aelin's walking, he'll kind of dunk a little bit, and as doing so, does not drop Xander into the water.
I
Unless you
feel
want me
like
to actually roll something for that.
I feel like every time he dunks, Xander is still just like playing their lute to like keep the spell up, and they're just like keeping it out of the water, or they're like trying to play it like behind their head.
Always like doing this to keep their arm from getting wet. Like just
You're trying to avoid water getting into the socket, the open socket of your body. You just turn into like a lava lamp of water because it's just filtering through.
I'm like cleaning my cleaning my armor, cleaning my hair. I'm just taking the time, like, yeah, there's water.
I don't want to splash when I walk. I don't want to slosh.
Slosh.
Is the water like clear enough to see anything like within it? Like,
it's pretty dark.
Okay.
Aelin and Hendrix, I need the both of you to make me perception checks.
Oh, right.
Those are wonderful for me.
Well,
15.
That's actually so. I realized when I rolled my perception earlier, I looked at nature, which is a +2. It just didn't pay attention. I actually have a +11 to perception.
Hey yo!
So I messed that up big time. So I got a 15.
You both, as you're dunking your head under the water, at one point, something brushes on your ankle, Hendrix.
Ah! Oh,
hate
no.
it. It's like swimming in a
God.
lake and you touch algae.
Immediately just
Fish.
dunk my head in and take a look.
You open your eyes underwater and you are face to face with a young child's face. Hair kind of floating in the water, ears almost finned out on both sides.
I just wave.
Is it a baby Triton?
This is a full-on mermaid kid.
Even better.
You see a blue to green to yellow tail that goes into a pale white body and hair that is electric white, and it actually shines light in the water.
Oh,
I
I try to I go to and I'm like, oh, I'm underwater, duh.
He puts his
Did
hand
I-
to his mouth and creates an air bubble, and he puts it around your head.
Hello. Yes. What's your name?
I'm not good at sign language, but he attempts to sign his name out to you. Make me a general intelligence check to see if you could piece it together.
I have a lot of languages that I know, so hopefully this is okay. Hey, aguante one.
All right. You see Nereus.
Okay, I sort of understand this. Is everything okay? Or is it cool that we passed through here? Are there others?
You say, are there others? And he points over to where Aolin is, who, eyes closed, is trying to thrash his head. And there are two even smaller female mermaids who are like running a circle around him and causing bubbles. They're making a lot of bubbles around him.
I stick my head back out of the water real quick and I go, we have friends, and I stick my head back in.
Good friends or bad friends? Sometimes it means both.
Aolin, you pick your head back up.
Already back under.
You pick your head back up out of the water, and you see just two faces peering out of the water up at you, and they disappear back under.
I'll put my goggles of a night on, and I'll tuck my head down again with goggles.
Perfect.
Did I notice them at all? Since
I mean, yeah, you saw their little faces, and they.
Oh my god.
Do any of us else notice? Or
You notice a few faces peeking out of the water and like disappearing back as soon as you see them.
Danya's just gonna go and kind of just sink down.
Sink into the water. So that's it. Almost everybody except Xander and Basil currently.
Basil's gonna go under and see if he can spot one, give a wave, and then Basil's gonna try to Bugs Bunny propeller ear and see if he can race one.
Oh my god.
Okay. Alri, do you go under?
No, I need to keep my arm dry.
You see a little group of creatures poke out of the water and look at you, and they look to each other, and they all create an air bubble as big as a hamster ball and start pushing it towards you. They offer to put you in a hamster ball so you don't get wet.
Okay, sure.
If you want to go under, you don't have to, but they offer you a solution.
Sure. What could go wrong?
You get inside the hamster
Absolutely
ball.
nothing.
You all descend into the watery depths. Xander, are you hopping off of Aolin's back?
They would just be like,
I gotta keep playing my instruments so our car doesn't fall. So I think I gotta stay dry. Ding 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 ding.
You see I'm talking a toddler poke their little head out of the water.
Hi.
And swims enough to get enough momentum in their tail to keep them above the water a little bit. And starts copying your hand motions just in the air, but you hear the sound of your chittering transfer through the air into his hands, and he disappears under the water, and you see bubbles still going and the music popping out. So he tells you, you can play your music underwater.
It's not gonna hurt my instrument?
Pokes out, shakes his head no.
You promise?
Looks at webbed hands. Was going to give you a pinky promise, looks at webbed hands.
If you have webbed hands, how do you even know what a pinky promise is?
I've seen other people do
He's
it.
read about it. He's read about it in books.
Underwater books.
Underwater scrolls.
Do you descend beneath the waves?
yeah, if it's not gonna ruin their little loot, chittern, whichever thing it is, they're gonna pull Ezekiel out so he can poke his head out of the little pocket so he can see what all's going on, and they'll go underwater. Tend to do the swamming.
You all disappear into the depths of the water and see a tribe of mermaids all passing through the water, but specifically at the center of this large group there is a water genasi woman. She's older in years, her hair is kind of made of the water that you see around her. She has a crown on her head that is glowing and almost like concentrating. You realize that as she is moving her hands in the water, she's creating this water. This is 10 gallons of water she is currently concentrating on to migrate through the desert with her family instead of having to just take the long way. They're just traveling. She's dancing, she's keeping the water. It's just 10 gallons of water moving in the desert.
I love her. Oh my god.
You are playing on your chitterin, and the notes are ringing out into the water, bubbling out a bit. Kind of like the beginning of Under the Sea, the like it has that kind of cheeriness to it. They all are overcome by an infectious energy of your music, and they all begin to dance. Their tails twirl and swish through the water, creating patterns that sparkle in the fading light. They move to the music and swirl all of you guys around, helping you move through the water. You dance and they sing under the waters, but it's like a harmonious, beautiful, kind of eerie melody. Kind of like when you open the egg from the Triwizard Tournament in Harry Potter, but it screeches on the air, but it's beautiful underwater. You imagine if you heard this on land, it'd be god awful. The music gradually slows, and the leader, this water genasi woman of beauty and just grace, she stops very briefly and lowers the water level for you all to be able to see again. And you are kind of in a similar area to like the outskirts of Matista, the general kind of like, I'm looking like shanty town areas where it's like residential, not within the city gates of the capital, but you are back into a living quarters of sorts. There's people around. And you didn't even realize, but you traveled only for about an hour or two, and 2 days of travel happened without you even realizing it. This is the Migrating Mass of Grace. They are a mermaid, a triton, water genasi, like devotee group of Inad, and they are basically, they just bless the world around them with as much energy and happiness as they can. And
have we actually been in there in like 2 out of day times? Like, Donnie immediately grabs the sending stone and starts just dialing whatever it takes to call Xander's mom.
You call Mavis Veruvius, who has not heard from her child in 2 days.
After Xander being like, hey, Dad might be dead, bye.
Oh no.
You scramble out of the water back onto the desert, put the sending stone to your ear, and
I am so sorry. We are okay.
Have y'all been? I have been worried.
I am sorry. There was a situation in which we were traveling.
What kind of situation?
We found this traveling escapade of like water and the genasis and mermaids.
You sound almost as crazy as my kid, so it has to be true.
Yes, I don't think I could lie about this. And what felt like, it only felt like a couple hours, but we come out and the sun has shifted.
All right, I'm gonna choose to believe you.
If I could, I don't have any way to. Here's Xander, so you know that they are here.
Does Xander realize that it's actually been 2 days? Or are they just, like, in the moment?
You're in the moment and you look up and you see Danya's on land. Oh, cool. Danya's on Ascending Stone. Oh, Danya's most likely talking to your mom. Oh, no?
I feel like... Because if they haven't realized that it's been 2 days, they're just gonna take this in stone and be like,
It's like not even like evening yet. I mean, like I guess I could have like called you whenever we like left Matista, but like we've just been like there's like oh my god, there's like these mermaids and like a water genasi lady, and they were like really cool, and they were like swimming with us.
Put me on the phone with Her Majesty, this water genasi lady.
I guess I can.
Hand me over, Xander.
Let me go find her.
and they're just gonna, because is the cart already like back on the land?
He's still kind of floating.
Okay, I feel like Xander will just be like,
I gotta wait until the cart gets okay.
Now, Xander.
I can't let the cart fall in the lake. I'm making it fly. Just give me like
What the heck? Hey. You park the wagon onto the desert.
yeah, because Xander doesn't want to drop the cart and Rowan into this.
Rowan has been in the air for 2 days.
Oh no!
Why do I feel like?
Been like, they died, I guess. They drowned.
Yeah, once the cart's back on, Xander's gonna like put their little like children back in the. They're gonna set it in the cart.
Leaning out and sees Danya. Just like desperate. Like the bike.
They're. I guess they're gonna go to find the nice, pretty Genasi lady, wherever she may be in the water.
You float over to her and she like looks up and.
I can't talk underwater, can I?
You can certainly try.
If I don't need air to breathe, or if I don't need to breathe,
Water will go into your mouth and make it hard for you to speak.
Okay.
You won't choke on it. It's just, you can't speak around it.
What if I try to form a pocket with my hands?
What's gonna go in your hand? It's water.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I have anything where Xander could like try to explain what's going on. So they're just.
She makes an air bubble around you so you can talk.
Xander just like pulls up the stone, and is like,
hi. Also, thank you for like letting us travel with you. My mom. I didn't realize it was 2 days in here, and my mom is really mad, and she wants to talk to you. I'm sorry.
You're totally fine. Hello, this is Isabel Cromwell. Nice to meet you. Yes, I understand, ma'am, but you have to understand I was helping your daughter, son.
Yes.
I was helping your child. Yes. Yes, that Cromwell, yeah. Okay. You can speak with my sister. We can talk of this later. Have a good rest of your day.
That scares me.
What?
I'm squinting at you, Vax.
Why are you squinting at me?
You know why.
Here's your rock back.
Thank you. I'll take my rock back.
Actually, that's my rock.
I'll take my rock back to give to Dan.
Rachel opening up Google Docs right now. Which one of these fucking...
How did you know?
I'm just gonna leave it open to see if you find where I am, and you're gonna be...
You are in it?
I'm just gonna leave it open and see. Right.
There's an anonymous cheetah in my Google Docs. Gee, I wonder where all the people are down at the bottom. You are. Hello.
There's an anonymous cheetah in my Google Doc.
That's what it says. Anonymous cheetah.
I'm not even sure what that means, but it's hilarious.
Somebody put that in quotes, please.
I'm doing it right now as we speak.
There's an anonymous cheetah in my Google Doc.
I love how so many of the quotes I do are just Rachel.
Apparently his
Absolutely
family of
fair.
mermaids and tritons is what Rachel's adding right now. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
There's an anonymous cheetah.
Oh my god. Oh, sorry. That's so funny to me. Oh. So what that means, Noah, is the Google Doc that I have with Rachel and a specific character. It's like anyone with this link has like certain access, and it doesn't like save my email, so it's just like I turned into like an anonymous like thing in the Google Doc, and it made me an anonymous cheetah.
Fair enough.
Oh god, I'm dying. That's so fucking funny.
I just saw Edward's the Xander's mom asking for the manager of the Merfolk clan.
Yeah. Oh.
Mavis, don't be a Karen.
She's not being a Karen, she's being the Southern mother. Okay, so you all get out of the water. You thank the water genasi for letting you converse with her magic. All of the little mermaids, they wave with their hands, but then their tail also like makes swishes, like a wave a little bit. One of them is really tiny and just kind of ends up doing circles in the water because their tail is propelling them a little bit too much. Basil, right before everyone gets out of the water, one of them, the one that Hendrix had saw, the fluorescent white hair, the leader of this group, at the front at least, comes up to you and makes a signal like, come with me, and like floats back a little bit and makes like a runner's stance in the water, like building up momentum with his tail, and he looks like he wants to race you.
I'm gonna do the same, but I'm gonna face backwards so my ears can like propel me.
Alright, and then it's like an understood 1, an understood 2, an understood 3. Make me an acrobatics or athletics check to propel yourself through the water.
Ooh. The nat 20 for 24.
Ooh.
He got good too, but not nat 20 for 24. Yeah, you have a good race in the water going like around the quote-unquote track that's been made in the sand. You kick up on the side of the wall, you run around a few times, and then you make it back to your group before he does. And he like spirals out at the end and sends like a flurry of bubbles in your face, like, "No fair, you cheated!" But he like playfully like crosses his arms and frowns, but extends the edge of his tail for like a high five.
I'll give him a high five with my ear.
He reaches into a small pouch you didn't see, like it was like wrapped around the waist right before it hits the tail, and he pulls out a little earring of sorts with a seashell at the edge, and he like goes to the top of your ear and like slips it on. It's not like a hook, it's like a kind of rubber elastic almost, and puts it at the edge, and he puts it on his own. and you hear his voice in your mind through this kind of sending earring. If you're ever needing a friend out in the world, my name is Nehrus, and I think you're really cool. My mom's the leader.
Nerus, amazing race. You are a speedy, and I hope we cross paths again. I'm sure I'll bump into you out in the desert.
I don't usually look like this. You'll usually see me in like a semi-water state, either as a Genasi like my mom, or I'm only half mermaid, so it's my dad that ended up being it.
I'm sorry, that went over my head. Was your dad full fish? And mom?
My mom's
confused.
a water Genasi, my dad's a full pure-blood mermaid.
Okay. I don't... Sorry.
My dad is a fish.
Sorry.
This tale only lasts for a certain amount of time.
I'm sorry, I don't get in the water that often.
Oh, you're good. It's the desert. It's not like normal.
Yeah.
You're really cool.
Well,
I've never seen a bunny
you're
in the
cool.
water before.
I feel at home. It just feels right. I just start doing like a backstroke.
You're cool, dude.
I go to give him a fist bump, and when he goes to fist bump me, I snail him.
What did you do? What was that? That was so cool. Sweet. Hey, want to see something cool? You put your hand out. You put your hand out. Yeah. And he goes under it and makes like a turtle, and he does the turtle thing. But after a moment or so, he pulls his hand away, and there's actually a turtle in his hand, and he like lets it float in the water in front of him.
That is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
He's my little guy.
He's a cool dude.
Grabs him and puts him on his hair, and the little turtle just kind of gets cuddly a little bit.
Well, where are y'all heading?
We're actually headed over to the city of Sundertree over in Madro. They're gonna be doing a ceremony for the gods and goddesses soon, because it's New Year's coming up, and we gotta be over there because my mom represents the goddess at Nod. Our whole family does. There's not much of us left though.
Well, I'll tell you what. We are heading in a different... Yeah, we're heading in a different direction. But if y'all need anything, just beat me.
I'll beat you. He grabs the earring and like shakes it a little bit and like waves to you, and then he waves backwards into the water and goes back towards his group.
I give him like one of these, like one of the like cool surfer dude things.
One of the little kids does it, and he's just like floating. He's just chilling.
Oh man, I don't know if I ever want to leave this place.
You see your air bubble shrinking.
No.
Does anybody want to do anything in the water real fast?
I don't necessarily want to do anything, but I would like to just for fun point out Hendrix this entire time has been... It took him a few minutes to realize he's extremely embarrassed because he just took a bath in these people's house, basically. He just walked into a random house and started bathing as far as he's concerned. So he has been quiet, hardly talking to
There's
anybody.
a small group of like girl mermaids who are just like giggling to each other, like pointing at Hendrix. It's like a small group of kids that are like holding the hamster ball with Alri and just like bouncing it slightly between each other and like a beach ball, but like not super hard, like just enough where it's fun for you and not like a jostle, just like a boom, a boom. there's one of them that actually like punctures into the air bubble briefly and lands on 2 feet, similar to Narus, you believe. They might be half mermaid, can transform human back, and starts wrapping seaweed around your arm.
Aww.
And looks up to you and tries to figure out where your ear is for one of these earrings, and just kind of
They're gonna make you into sushi.
hooks it onto the seaweed so that you can then hear. He doesn't know that you have telepathy, but you hear in your mind a very familiar kind of presence of, this should help you heal faster. I know you're not of flesh and blood, but you do have a living component to you, so this should mend a few cracks of yours.
Thank you.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm Marina.
All right.
Forgive me for sharing your markings or familiar but distant.
Well,
The goddess that created you is not super fond of the goddess that blessed my life, but there is a reverence of creation between the two.
I have had little experiences with the gods.
They are children, taking care of a sandbox, but they're the most qualified children of us all, I believe.
I certainly wouldn't want their job.
Oh, upper planes, no. It would be awful to have to hold all of that on one's shoulders.
I wonder if anyone's ever tried to give them therapy.
Be very hard because they're in a different plane of existence.
I suppose you'd have to have someone really stubborn.
You and I look at the camera in the office. That's Vex's whole point in a different game. Aolin, everyone gets these earrings to communicate with Water Genasi and mermaids now. You all have little earrings for water creatures as a fun little random encounter you guys encountered here. And Danya, you have some seashells that have been made into like a brooch up in your hair that's like pulled your hair back a bit. And Aolin, you have a bunch of tiny braids from all the little small kids who've been braiding your hair. Kind of like Cowardly Lion with all the like the bows and things a little bit. And Xander, the golden tips of your horns, there are now shimmers of blue from almost like glittery substance that's been like pulled through it, and the edges of your afro have a bit of that shimmer as well, as there was 1 or 2 of these mermaids that have this like a similar like the kinky curls to you, and they have bits of shimmer and gold that they shook onto you as a blessing.
I love it.
And with that, you all exit the water, and you all, in the distance, hear Rowan screaming at you, like, where the hell did you guys go for 2 days since you've been in the water? And then,
We'll explain in a minute.
you guys all look like you went to a beach party.
You want some glitter?
That's
I'll
what we
think
get for not
about
being
it.
scared of the water.
I didn't want to get wet.
I could have braided you fur. I didn't mind.
I wouldn't have wanted them to touch me, but good job. I hope you had fun. I'm going to bed.
Have you been
What
awake
have
for
you
2
been doing
days?
for the past days?
No, I couldn't sleep last night.
I'm not gonna question it.
Alright. So, to wrap
Well,
us up
BRB.
for the night... Yeah, you're good. To wrap us up for the night, You all get back into the cart, situating yourselves, dog shaking and making people upset. Like, Aolin! Everyone screams as Aolin shakes his mane. We are back into the Expanse, and you all are heading towards the capital city of Jiangwei. Can I have everyone make me perception checks, please?
Why?
It's actually not that bad.
Thank God it was now instead of earlier. That one.
Okay.
Inspiration token.
28.
You do? Can you
I
please?
don't like the spooky music.
28.
Mhm.
Did anyone get above a 17?
Wait, what are we doing?
Perception check. This is from my favorite video game, Prey. Oh, it's so good.
I got a 17.
You've all spent technically the last few days following the high road north to Jiangwei. Well, following the high road south of Matista to Jiangwei, excuse me. And you've just recently veered east along what is known as the Peakta Roadway. After encountering those water genasi and mermaids, you haven't encountered anything troubling thus far, but you know that this territory can be very dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along this trail. 28 and all the 17s. Starting with our 17 in like ballpark range there. As you come around a bend, you spot 2 horses, one laying fully on its side in the road, and one attempting to right itself. You recognize the horses that Jullian Baruvius and his bodyguard Oscar had taken out of Riven Serjal. There are several black feathered arrows sticking out of the one that is fully on its side. The other is wounded, attempting to find some sort of footing. The woods press on close. There's a bit of a woods that start up because of the capital. It presses close to the trail here. There's a steep embankment with more sand dunes and rocky patches. It's not so much trees for the woods, it's more cliff faces leading into like brambles almost. You see the cart that they had been traveling in fully on its side as well. Windows shattered, one wheel spinning still. What would you like to do?
Did
Stop
someone
the
try to...
Do I say anything extra or?
I'll get to you what you see in a second.
Okay.
It's called cinematic timing, Noah.
I was just curious.
I'm gonna draw my great sword.
Okay.
I'll draw the crystal one.
Xander, you would recognize this to be what Mama Alli warned you about when she had done a little check around of the capital. See if Jullian had come near.
Yeah, Xander, because they wanna investigate and do the things and find their dad, but they also know bad things happen, so they're just staying in the cart for now and peeking out and pointing and like, that's
That's the cart that Mama Alli told me about. That might have been Dad's, and those are the horses he left with.
Oh. Donnie's gonna try and kind of quietly leave the cart.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
19.
You believe yourself to be sufficiently quiet.
Okay, and he's just gonna kind of make his way over to the cart and kind of peek inside.
Okay. Does anyone else get out of the cart?
Aelin will follow, putting the hood up of his new cloak.
I am not stealthy, so I will stay in the back and be ready
Aelin.
to leap.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready a move if anything pops out.
Sure.
I'm also
Aelin,
getting
you
a-
are invisible. Hendrix.
Basil's gonna follow his counselor.
It's a 22 on my stealth check.
Hey, you have advantage because you're invisible.
Yep.
22, nice. Xander, you staying?
Are we all sneaking around?
Alrea's staying in the cart.
I'm not leaving the cart. I'm just staying, like getting out.
What will Xander do? I feel like if people are still staying in the cart, Xander will stay as well. They've got their little chittern there in case they need to blast out any spells. But they're creeping. They're probably sitting in the driver's seat now since nobody's up there, and they're just like
Sitting in the
there.
driver's seat.
They're just
Sitting
like
in the driver's seat.
holding their loot, Ezekiel on their head, ready to go in case.
Okay. Danya, roll me an investigation check as you look into the wagon.
I'm actually good at those. But of course I rolled badly for that specifically.
No.
13.
You have to climb a little bit into the driver's seat to get a look into the window because it's on its side currently. You get into the little driver section, grab onto the side, pull up so you can look in. It's dark. There's a mess of papers and belongings that you would quickly recognize to be the packs and things that Jullian and Oscar had brought with them. There's blood everywhere in the cart. And you look down at your hand where there is blood now staining it, and you see the line in the sand as someone had been picked up and dragged.
Does it ever end?
It goes off into the brambles.
Okay.
I'll pause you there. Aelin, what are you doing?
Once I'm within like 30 feet, and like kind of while I'm walking up, I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Cast Detect Magic. Ooh, wait. Cloak of Invisibility.
I'll still be invisible.
I'm double checking. When you're invisible, anything you carry, or... When you cease wearing the hood, that is the only time you are not. Huh, that's broken as shit.
It's a legendary magic
It
item.
is a legendary magic item. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. You cast Detect Magic. And very quickly, you feel a strong sense of a few types of school magic. illusion, for one. On yourself, of course, but you're watching as Danya looks and follows the trail of blood that you also now see. And in the brambles, there's like a cluster of something that's got this illusion around it. From the horse that's laying on the ground, the other one is like got one leg firmly planted, trying to pick itself up, with a back leg that will not move, but is really fighting. A horse knows what it's gonna happen to it if it can't get up. It's like an innate thing for a horse to go, get up, prove you can stand, prove you can stand. This thing's fighting, but the one next to it, there is this wafting aura of necromancy pooling from the arrows, from its stomach area. You watch as this horse, fighting to stand, suddenly stiffens and drops, falling the same way. A black arrow materializing from invisibility. I will pause you there.
Hate that.
Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to Basil and the other people's first. You got a 28. You're gonna see something in specifics. You're gonna see something cool.
I can wait.
Basil, you watch the trail and see it go into the brambles. You see the arrow hit the horse. And you hear something tick, 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 tick. You look into the cart and see a small black bundle just within arm's reach. And you reach in and pick it up and shake off the little cloth and see a crystal flashing red like a heartbeat. Tick, 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 and it starts getting a little bit faster. Tick, 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 tick. What are you doing? Tick, tick.
I look at Danya, I look at this thing.
Tick, 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 tick,
And I'm gonna
tick,
chuck
tick,
it into
tick,
the
tick,
the
tick. It explodes in a fiery tornado of a delay blast fireball.
Jesus.
In a matter of seconds, you hear and arrows start shooting from the brambles. Creatures begin dropping from invisibility, hitting the ground. There are snarls of animals all around you, yips of hyena-like creatures, gnolls. From the visions you've been seeing, gnolls moving in all around you. There's about 4 you can clearly see. Alri and Xander, you guys are still kind of to yourselves. You see all these creatures begin moving in. This sets off your move. You hop, you run, Alri. Where are you going?
The knoll closest to my friends.
Okay.
My movement is halved, so I can only go. Is halved rounded up or rounded down?
Down.
Down 20 feet.
Okay. You will have to do a full little bit, but you'll get to there. I know where you are. Xander, what are you doing before I hit Hendrix with something?
You always catch me right when I'm looking at stuff to do. I feel like Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Because I mean, Xander doesn't want to be in the cart by themselves, so they're gonna kind of like tail after Alri a little bit, like trying to stay as much behind it as they can. And while they're scurrying, they're gonna cast Expeditious Retreat on themselves in case they need to be a speedy little bugger.
All right. You cast Expeditious Retreat. Okay. And that's where I will pause you. Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
With a 28. You look off and you see all of these things happening simultaneously. The gnolls dropping down, pulling out arrows, shooting at the friends, the delayed blast fireball being a ticking time bomb of a like trap being set off, hitting the brambles, shattering what was left of a forest maybe. There's not much forest that can grow in a desert, but the little that was there is gone. You stare deeper, and you see one of these creatures is a lot bigger than the rest. Has a almost humanoid-like face, but a jaw that is unhinged with like razor-sharp teeth. Long tendrils of hair almost molting off the body. Arms that are too long and bend, like canthropic almost. You see what is known as a Waskoira, a creature of pure evil and corruption, a werewolf that has become even more of a beast. It's hunched over, breathing. As soon as you see it, you know it sees you, and it lunges for you. That's where we're going to end tonight's session of Desert of Dread.
Is that the thing that popped out of my brain?
That is the thing that popped out of your brain.
Not another one.
Not another
I mean,
one.
I'm always here for killing undead.
So I'm going to show you guys the map of where you guys are.
I hadn't even joined.
Can make me open roll 20.
I am going to make you open roll 20.
I had it open the whole time, but never actually logged in. I was just, I guess, because nothing happened that I needed to use it.
I've been sitting here this whole time waiting for Vax to open it.
I'm in it.
Those bitches.
This guy would actually be closer. Hold on. He'd be right here.
Ugh.
I'll have fun.
And he'd be here. He'd be here. And he'd be here. Alright, I didn't want to do this fight without Nev, because I loved him. We are going to be ending our session here tonight as the gnolls attack. We are going to be having a little bit of a fight before we hit the capital. A big little fight. He's a little guy. It's just a little fight. And I take away the map because you guys are not allowed to measure things.
I was measuring already.
It's already happening. Thank you guys for joining us for tonight's session of Desert of Dread. We are going to be getting into some fun things. We had a really nice roleplay session. I feel like you guys deserved a little bit of carnage and fighting. Plus, I had to show what the Waskoira was. I don't know if it'll pop up for everybody, but look at this little guy. If I can do it, right? Hold on. You have to be on the map. Real fast, hold on. Look at this little guy.
Terrified.
Everyone,
Look at him. He's just a
don't
little
like it.
guy.
I didn't like it the first time, and I'm not gonna like it now.
Well, no, and it's gonna be great when I kill one of you with him. So we will see you guys in our next session. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good night.
What if- what if it's not with that?
Bye.